Good afternoon, Coach.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us in this busy time in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So, sum up 2017 for the London Olympians.
Oh, well, 2017 has been a really impressive year. As you know, we started last year, we were an 0-10 team. I've come in, I've brought in some really good coaching staff, and we've managed to turn this team around. We're now in the final. It's been a good year. I can't, I didn't envision us potentially going this far, so we've actually exceeded our expectations. It's been a really good year. I've been happy.
So obviously this afternoon's opponents are the Manchester Titans.
Yep.
Obviously undefeated team coming from the north.
Yes.
Have you made any particular preparations for the Titans this afternoon?
Well, we focused on our game because I think we're playing the real strong side of our football at the moment. I've decided that we're going to concentrate on what we do right, and we've put in some tactics to be able to counteract what they're going to come up with, and I feel that if we play our good football that we've been playing so far in this season, they should have their hands full with us today.
Are the O's, the 2017 O's, built around a particular unit, offense, special teams, defense?
Oh, well, I mean, I think we're an all-round team, right? When the offense has needed to step up to help out the defense, they've done so. When the defense has needed to step up to help out the offense, they've also done so. So I think we're equally strong on offense as we are on defense. But the offense is firing at the moment. They've put up 50 points and then another 40 points in the last playoff game. Sure. They're on fire at the moment, but the defense is supporting them every step of the way.
Okay, so when a player comes to the London Olympians, are there a particular trait, characteristic you look for in guys who come and play for you, Coach?
Well, I was always known as a hard-nosed player when I played. I've tried to instill that in the guys that I coach now. All I look for in a player is someone that's dedicated to the sport, loves the sport, wants to learn about the sport, but most of all gives 110% every time they touch the field. Yeah. As I explained to the guys, I want them to impress me. Every time they touch the field, they're trying to impress me, impress the coaches, and impress themselves, right? So we look at young players. We've got quite a lot of new rookies that's joined the team this year, and they've also shown just as much grit and determination as the veterans, and we're all playing as one solid unit at the moment.
This is obviously the final game of 4 for Brick Bowl weekend. 2 incredible games yesterday. Yes, obviously Tamworth running out over the Blitz in the Prem final, and the London Blitz edging the East Kilbride Pirates. We've seen the Birmingham Lions just edge the Nottingham Caesars today, 2016. 3 close games. Do we expect a close one today from you guys?
I think with our opponents, they're a tough team, I have to say. Potentially, it could be tough. It could be a close game. Obviously, fingers crossed, it's not as close as it could be, and hopefully we run away with it, right? But I think they're going to give us some problems today, but I believe that we'll be ready to answer.
Well, congratulations on making this Division 1 final today.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And if things all go well, then hopefully we'll get a chat with you afterwards.
Thank you. I'll speak to you after.
Take care.
Cheers.
Thanks. Indeed, interviews after the game. All coaches have been very positive about speaking to us down at Onside Productions, just to give us their thoughts on the coming matchups and how their seasons have gone. And we've had real positive responses from all of them. 8 teams, interviews with 8 coaches, and very pleasing to understand that they're here for the success of their individual programs, but also they understand the fact that they're on this national stage. There's an advert for the British game, and I think yesterday afternoon, the Tamworth Phoenix, the London Blitz, the Under-19 Pirates and the London Blitz put on a heck of a spectacle, and indeed the Lions and the Caesars the same this morning. So we've had the coin toss here in Leeds. The sun is out again. We've had incredible weather for all 4 games. The Olympians will be receiving and playing from right to left as we look up here from the commentary position. I will be shortly joined by Coach Lees of the Nottingham Caesars, the runners-up of this morning's National Plate competition, losing out to the Birmingham Lions by a score of 20-16. And some incredible plays, as we mentioned with Nick on the pre-game show. One of the highlights of which was a 90-yard touchdown pass from Tom Henley to Alex Stocks, which trimmed the lead to 20-16. And then, unfortunately for the Caesars, the Lions played very, very well on the ensuing drive, kept the ball, and eventually ran the clock out to take that plate. See the Manchester Titans going through their final preparations before this Division 1 showdown. Two really, really strong teams. Coach Edwards mentioned to me that this is almost the Olympians' first foray back into the Premiership today. They're trying to get a head start on their 2018 campaign. Obviously for the Titans, undefeated, 10-0 on the season. Sorry, 9-1 on the season, missing out on one game. No, indeed, 10-0, as I originally stated. So they'll be looking to finish the season on a high with this Division 1 game. Nice crowd in again here in Leeds today. We managed to break the record for attendance at a Brit Bowl yesterday in Worcester. Over 1,000 people in attendance at Brit Bowl. Speaking to Martin Cockrell and the BAFA guys, they're really, really impressed with the way yesterday went in all aspects, from the games to the coverage to the gate receipts, breaking the Allianz Stadium record. We must give a shout out to BAFA as well, to Martin Cockrell and Russ Hewitt and the team for putting on a couple of outstanding days of British football. Those guys work very hard behind the scenes. Drove up from Worcester to Wakefield late last night, and we're here at the crack of dawn, as were the guys from DC and Onside Productions, to bring these games to you today. So here we go with the kickoff of the Division 1 national title game, and the Manchester Titans get us underway, and it's fielded at the 20-yard line by number 82 for the Olympians, and Montel Patterson gets the ball out to the 30-yard line, where the Olympians will have their first foray on offense. So glad that you can join us today. If you would like to get in touch with us here on the live stream, please do use the hashtag BritBowl31. We had loads of people watching at its peak. Nearly 2,000 people streaming live yesterday, and subsequently we are up to the 10,000 mark now of people having watched yesterday's stream of the Premiership final, which is fantastic viewing figures, as number 27 for the Olympians, Andy Owusu, gets the first carry and manages to get a hard-earned 4 yards on first down. So yeah, hit us up, tell us where you're watching from, tell us who you're supporting, tell us what you enjoyed most about the weekend. Again, none of this is possible without double coverage and Onside Productions bringing this performance in association with EP, Nick Wilson Town and his staff on the social media and keeping things up to speed there. Tom Howe, Steve Matthews, Alex McKinnon Campbell, as the ball is up in the air and it's almost complete. Number 81, Kevin Boaty, the intended receiver for the Olympians, as quarterback Aaron Griffiths just puts the ball out of his reach, and it will bring up third down. There is a Titans player down injured currently. But yes, an event like these last 2 days doesn't get put on easily, and there's been a lot of people making a great deal of effort to get things up and running. And as I take a seat, just while we have this injury time out, I welcome to the commentary booth the Wally with the brolly, Coach George Lees.
How you doing?
You just had a little bit of a jog there pre-game?
No, I'm cool, I'm fit.
Okay, that's very good. We'll talk about this game a little bit later, but obviously it would be remiss of me not to ask you how you're feeling. A really competitive and something you should be ever so proud of from a Caesar's point of view. 2 straight national plate final appearances, and competitive in both, and maybe there was a case of maybe missed opportunities today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way that BAFA's set up the league this year, we've actually jumped up 2 ranking spots, so we've finished 4th. We're really happy with that, so moving in the right direction. Absolutely, you know, we managed to stop their offense in the second half. Just got down to that red zone and just couldn't punch it in. Really solid group of defenders they've got. The running game wasn't working. We got the pass going once or twice, but it was a little inconsistent. But there you go. I
think, again, like yesterday with the EKP, the Blitz under-19s, I think it was a fantastic advert for the game. And we know beyond the 4 teams that we've streamed this weekend, we know the standard for under-19 football is improving all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we were happy that we didn't concede more than 30 points. The Lions, we get closer and closer to every year, like I said before the game to you. They are a bit of a bogey team for us, but we've done really well. I was really proud of the lads with how they shut down Rohan. Rohan Sandhu, he's a really, really athletic quarterback. Usually he absolutely burns us. He made 1 or 2 plays. I do feel that the hit out of bounds, that late hit out of bounds, he was inbounds. But that's how they see it, that's how they call it. I don't think it would have made much bearing on the game, to be honest. And then we shut down Bawa, minus that last run, that last big run, where they sort of beat themselves up, hitting our DB in the back. But other than that, we shot him down as well. He's obviously a bigger back, a real power back. We've not come across guys. I mean, he's big. He's the biggest back in the league. He's got to be. And for us to shut him down like we did today, minus that run, and our containment just broke and the tackling went down, we were really happy with that.
Plenty to build on moving forward. I know you lose some of your more senior players, the likes of quarterback Tom Henley and fullback Alex McLaughlin, to name just a couple. But plenty to build on and a lot of talent coming through.
Yeah, I mean, defensive-wise, we're actually pretty solid. It's the offense that I'm slightly concerned about, but we will find some new players, I'm sure.
Sad sight to see so early into the game of one of the Titans players being carried to the sideline, and we wish him all the best with a speedy recovery. But back to the game, it's 3rd down Olympians, 3rd and 5 on their own 34-yard line. What do you expect from this one this afternoon, George?
I'm expecting, and you know, I'm not much of a man for predictions, but I would think the form that Manchester have been in this season, some people would argue they've played lesser class teams, but I would argue that they're the team to win today. It's their game to lose.
Jordan McKenzie comes through and takes the ball in a jet sweep, and the Titans smother him and push him out of bounds short of the 1st down, which will bring up the first 4th down opportunity of the afternoon.
Yeah, Olympians have been in a bit of a mix and match, I think, down there. Some wins, some losses, and no clear-cut winner in the south. So yeah, 6-3-1 record. It's, you know, they've done really well, clearly in playoff football to get where they are. But it's not, you know, Titans are 9-1.
10-0. Obviously, it is undefeated. I've got a little bit of inconsistent information here, but the punt goes up from number 58.
No, they lost to. I'm sure they lost to Lancashire Wolves in the. Not Yorkshire Rams. I'm sure they lost to the Rams. Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Anyway, with that first possession, 3 and out from the Olympians, and the Titans will take over. 1st and 10, just inside their own 20-yard line. Where quarterback leading the Titans out, Sam Bloomfield.
That big body of Michael McGugan in that left guard spot.
And as we're accustomed to now during this weekend, a spread formation, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left as one of the receivers comes in motion. That's number 6, it's Adam Bamba. And Bamba goes on the jet sweep, but is scythed down after a pickup of about 3.
Yeah, it was a really nice move when he came around the edge, just to hop back inside on a nice little quick juke step. Got a few extra yards there.
Picks up 5 actually off the carry. So 2nd and 5. Early in this first quarter of the National Division 1 final. North versus South, very much like the Prem final was yesterday.
Olympians appeared to be having a little bit of miscommunication. Number 10 there for the Olympians wasn't quick enough. But,
James Nunes in motion, so 3 receivers to the left now for Bloomfield. Ball is passed out to the left, whereas receiver George Slade makes the catch and takes it out beyond the 1st down marker to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, nice little screen pass there. Receiver steps forward, steps back, easy completion, 5-6 yard picked up, enough for the 1st down.
1st down Titans, whole offense look to the sideline as the play call comes in. 3 receivers to the right this time, really spreading the field out. The fakes the handoff and the ball's side-armed, and it's behind Adam Bamba that time.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest form throw I've ever seen. I don't think he was under a lot of pressure either to be throwing it sidearm this early on was a little bit of a, maybe he's just gone unorthodox throwing style.
Had Bamber on the slant there and may well have picked up some yards after the catch had that been completed, but nevertheless 2nd and 10 for Bloomfield. Again, Bamber comes in motion again, fake the jet sweep, and it's handed off on an inside run. Positive yardage, if but a couple, by number 35, Martin Holt for the Titans. Another blue jersey, slow to get up, and the referee, Mr. Kavanagh, waves his hat for the medics to come on once again, and unfortunately two injuries in pretty quick succession for the Titans this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, they won't be happy. Two quick injuries, like you say, that's always a worry.
Once again, they take this opportunity to ask you to get in touch if you can. Use the hashtag BritBowl31. Give you a shout out and a good old mention if you're able to get in touch with us. Again, double coverage bring you this stream this afternoon with Onside Productions and EP Sports. BAFA obviously laying on an incredible weekend of UK football action. As fortunately, this time, the Titans player, Nathan Crimes, jogs his way off the field, so all being well, he'll be able to sit out a couple of plays and return. Third and 7, Manchester, still inside their own half. 12:30 left in the first period. I know you were worried, George, about how great the games were yesterday, that you guys would not be able to match and put on a spectacle, but I think you and the Lions very much combined to put on a really enjoyable under-19 plate final.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Bamber in motion again. 3 receivers to the right this time for Bloomfield. Trying to make the Olympians jump a little. Bloomfield sidearms again, and he's got a man this time, and it's number 3, Ewan Kinder. And it does appear that Bloomfield's action is very much of that gunslinger sidearm.
Well, it's working for him so far. It's early days yet, but see what he brings.
So the first down of the afternoon for either team, and it goes Manchester's way. They're currently playing from left to right. Very warm day up here again in Leeds, as it was down in down in Worcester yesterday. We have, as yesterday we did, a shovel pass just executed beautifully to number 26, Ryan Newton by the Titans. Yes, as yesterday we had the services of Rose, who provided some really interesting interviews. We have Amber on the sideline with us today. So I believe Amber is down there with her first stint of the afternoon. Good afternoon, Amber. Try and get Amber to you if we can, as Bloomfield sidearms another, and Bamber makes a great catch in between 2 defenders, turns upfield and picks up another 7 yards for another Titans first down.
Yeah, he did really well to look that in. Olympians defenders encroaching on that ball, looking to get that interception. Bamber just sneaks through the gap.
And the Titans are rolling. I was down on the sideline prior to the game, and it never fails to amaze me the size of some of these guys. There are some absolute specimens down there playing this game.
Yeah, there are, and I think we looked from up in our booth yesterday at Pat Daly, but then actually when we spoke to him, he wasn't as big as he appeared. But yeah, obviously looking from here, Bloomfield is a real big quarterback. McGugan, about 77 in the middle, he's a huge unit as well.
Great hit in the hole there, Jonathan Cobham, number 54 for the Olympians, making Ryan Newton stop dead in his tracks. Second down. 2nd and 11, in fact, a loss of 1. As there's a little confusion now with the Titans offense. James Nunes is being directed back to the left side of the field where there are trips there for Bloomfield, and Bloomfield again sidearms one. Nunes isn't looking.
Yeah, just didn't turn his head quick enough.
And Rory Golding in coverage there for the Olympians.
Yeah, it was really nice coverage by the Olympians DB, but you can see here receivers. Well, none of the receivers really are looking for the ball, and if he had, it would have been a real nice throw, a relatively easy completion, even though it was covered up, and it would have been a nice yardage gain.
3rd and 11, Manchester. Nunes in motion again for that same formation with 3 men on the left, and Bloomfield kind of gets that ball in, snags it, and he hits his man 5 yards deep. He breaks one tackle, breaks a second, and scurries his way for a 1st down.
Yeah, George Slade with the reception there for Manchester. Does really well to break that one tackle and just keep running just enough to get that 1st down.
And the chains move again for the Titans. So after a 3 and out on the Olympians' first possession, Manchester proving that they have the ability to move that ball quite freely on this first opening drive.
Yeah, I mean, within reason, I think watching this game so far, I think we were expecting Manchester to move the ball. It was more a case of what can the Olympians bring to the table.
And it was very much talking to their head coach, and it's picked off, and then that's going to be called incomplete. Number 8 there for the Olympians, Kobe Williams had it in his hands, and his own man unfortunately played defensive back for the Titans.
Yeah, number 56 there for the Olympians. I don't know whether Grief gets a forced fumble against his name, does he? Or
it was called incomplete.
It was.
So
fortunately for him.
So it was incomplete pass, let off for the Titans. Unfortunate situation there for the Olympians, but 2nd and 10. Titans knocking on the door.
Williams will be gutted.
Nunes in motion again. James Nunes, and the ball is handed off. And nothing doing there as the Olympians put pay to that one on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, much better interior defense that time from the Olympians. 2 yards maybe, if he's lucky.
Joe Nicholson with the carry. Kind of nice already, it's this early into the game, you're hearing a number of different players getting their hand on the ball.
Yeah, it means that there's never one man that people can key in on to really stop. They seem to, or appear to, have a number of weapons, which is really good.
3rd down situation for the Titans, trips to the right. And the halfback seems to have got some room there, but is snagged down quickly by number 59 for the Olympians.
Yeah, that's Owanusi. He did really well actually to sit there on that edge and just wait. Clearly a play they were expecting to see. Just a point of interest, not something we really see in the British game. The way they're calling the plays in with the Titans on the scorecards rather than, or the play cards, should I say?
Yeah, the board's holding up.
Rather than coaches dancing on the sideline or shouting.
Well, it's all. I mean, you can see obviously there are audibles going on, and all the Titans' offense look to the sideline, and it's easier to hold up a visual clue like that so that everyone can be on the same page. I believe we now can go down to Amber. Amber, for the first time this afternoon, are you with us?
Can you just hear me?
There we go.
There you go, yeah. Well, sorry about that. We had a slight communication problem. But I'm with one of the medics who has been attending to some of the Titan players who unfortunately went down quite early. What can you say about those falls?
Yeah, one of them, it's a current injury. He's only just come back on pitch and he just landed funny and his knee's damaged again. Physio's now dealing with it. The other guy, it was his chin. Someone had just hard knocked him and he's now come off pitch just for a quick rest and he's back on the next round.
So neither one of those were any serious injuries you need to worry about?
Nothing to worry about at the moment, nothing serious. Just hopefully we won't have any more.
So yeah, so a few niggling things from this season, but the Titans seems to be all well and back on the pitch. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Amber. Good to hear that that's not going to be too much of an issue, but we'll wish him all the best. Yeah, Bloomfield on this drive, 5 of 8 for 53 yards so far, combined with the running game. 4th down, Titans electing to go for it. Similar formation, bring Nunes in motion, and Bloomfield rolls to his right, puts the ball out, and he's got his man, and his man with the second effort.
Yeah, great grab by number 3 for the Titans, Ewan Kinder.
So that second effort moves the chains again on 4th down for Manchester. Impressive outing so far. So 1st and goal, Manchester on the Olympians' 8-yard line. Nunes again in motion. Trips to the left this time. Bloomfield signals for the snap, gets that handoff. Flag on the play. So whatever happens here looks like coming back. Unfortunately, number 87 for the Titans. Number 87 for the Titans. George Slade runs into the end zone, but it looks like this might be coming back. And although it's our white hat for the afternoon signals that it is encroachment against the defense, and that George Slade touchdown will count. So a rather impressive opening drive for Manchester, resulting in 6 points.
Yeah, Titans making great headway there. I think they came out and did what we were expecting. From various people that I have spoken to, they're expecting a Titans victory here today. Olympians, you know, another great London team. I think they've got serious potential. Obviously playing in the Prem next year.
And the extra point is good for the first points of the afternoon. Manchester Titans 7 and the London Olympians 0 with 7 minutes left in the first period. So can the Olympians respond? I'll be honest, George, that's very similar to the start of your junior game. You guys went 3 and out, and the Lions marched down the field and scored on the first possession.
Yeah, absolutely. Our defense wasn't prepared enough. They knew what was coming, but just, you know, we were making adjustments as we went. I'm sure the Olympians will do the same. We've seen with the Kobe Williams incomplete interception that they've got some serious talent on defense, and they're more than capable of turning this game around. Bloomfield,
7 of 10 for 73 yards and that touchdown pass on that drive. Impressive going. It'll give him no end of confidence moving forward. Number 82 for the Olympians attempts to field the ball. Montel Patterson, unfortunately, fields it and fumbles it out of bounds.
Yeah, a relatively difficult ball to field as you're coming across field like that. You've obviously got the sun somewhere in the sky, he says. I have been sat under an umbrella for a while.
The sun generally is located somewhere in the sky.
I haven't burnt, so it's worked for me. But it's warm down there, it's really warm. Obviously, as we're getting later into the day, we played at midday, it's going to cool off a bit. But it's hot.
And equally, Manchester have got this near sideline again and find themselves in the shade of the stand. Whereas, unfortunately, the Olympians are on the far side with no shade being offered at all. First down, Olympians on their own 16. Ball's handed off, run to the right side, where Amoko picks up a couple on first down. Susanna Taylor, can I get a shout out for the chain crew and ball boys provided by BAFA officials, including my brother? Yes, absolutely, Susanna. And like we said, none of this event this weekend is possible without the tens of, almost hundreds of volunteers that we've got out here, both with the teams, but also from BAFA, from BAFRA. Obviously, like you say, the chain crews, double coverage, Onside Productions. Yesterday we had EP Sports down at Worcester as the play is whistled dead before it begins. Aaron Griffiths, sorry George, Aaron Griffiths trying to complete a swing pass to his left.
Yeah, you talk about the volunteers, but once again, just looking down the stand here, looks like there's a decent turnout of spectators as well. Not quite as many as there were for Tamworth, but again, it looks like it's more of a home game for Manchester, being only 45 minutes away.
Penalty against the Olympians will march them back once again. Talking about the crowd, George, while you were just doing the changeover from your game earlier on, Martin Cockerell told me that yesterday's crowd was over 1,000, and the gate receipts, both gate receipts broke a record for Brit Bowl from the Allianz Stadium. So BAFA are very pleased with how things were going yesterday.
Told you so.
2nd and 12 Olympians inside their own 15-yard line. Ball on a reverse goes to number 30, like the misdirection to Falana.
Big game, but there was a flag on the field. I suspect it's going to be a holding call as it's in the backfield.
And while that call does come back, we can pop down to Amber again, who I think has got somebody who we know quite well down there, George.
Yes, I do. I have Verity of the Manchester Titans with me, and yeah, we are loving the fact we've got the shade on this side of the sideline. So it's enjoying life, aren't we, Verity?
It's been absolutely such a wonderful day. The weather's been great. We've had a positive vibe on the sideline all season, and I feel like it's carried through to today.
It has indeed. So the Titans have had a great start. Tell us a bit about that first play.
So it was George Slade who got the first TD, and our kicker Aaron got the extra point. And I just feel like it's just been a great sort of set the tone. Got guys in a really good mood. Everyone's been really noisy for the defence. It's just really fab to be around right now, and hopefully it'll continue on throughout the day.
Yeah, the Titans really have taken to this being their first final. Spoke to a lot of the guys earlier on this week, and they're just totally enthralled about being here. It's one of the biggest sporting events, and you can tell on the sideline there's so much energy, enthusiasm, and real festive vibes. So happy days down here.
Thanks, Amber. And Verity, we must say, we know Verity up here in the commentary booth. Verity looks after the youth and junior programs up at the Titans.
Yeah,
and
I have to say, between Verity, our sports physio, Tony, Gemma, our general manager, and Faye Eastwood, I have been well caged for today.
Oh, have you?
I have, yeah. They
nice
look after me almost like a collective second mother.
Nice to know.
Being
Like
a young coach, and it's great. They're really good people.
Verity.
Faye's been great with registrations this year as well, and it's good to see with BAFA this year what they've achieved.
So 3rd down, 14 for the Olympians, and this time the ball is going to be put in the air, or attempted to, as Griffiths rolls to his right and ends up throwing the ball out of bounds, and will bring up 4th down again for the Olympians. So another 3 and out, and penalties not really going their way either.
Yeah, Manchester, they're really bringing the pressure onto Griffith. If you've got to get that pass game working, you've got to stop that pressure. The run game is kind of working. They're making moves. Obviously, they had that holding call there. But they need to find something, and they need to find it quick. I know it's early, but momentum in this game can very, very easily shift.
So 4th down Olympians, 2 men back deep for the Titans. It's a good high kick, and it's fair caught at midfield by number 3 for the Titans, Yain Kinder. So Manchester's 2nd possession, Olympians 2 possessions, 3 and out both times. Manchester first possession marched a good distance down the field and found the end zone. Let's see how Bloomfield and the offense approach this drive.
Well, if you're Manchester's defensive coordinator, you've got to be happy. Their offensive coordinator, 1 drive, 1 score. Olympians, the defense did well, I think. They allowed the score, obviously, but you've got Kobe Williams, who had that incomplete pick. So they've certainly got things to go with.
London Olympians, 15 total yards of offense, and all of that has been wiped out by penalties so far, as the ball is caught on the left sideline by Dave Barnett, number 5. Was that Bamber again, number 6?
Looked like Bamber.
It is number 6.
We'll see it on the replay here. As Bamber runs upfield, a shallow corner, just catches it in bounds with number 40 of the Olympians in coverage. And to be fair to him, really quite tight coverage.
Very close to where Alex Stocks caught a 90-yard TD pass for you earlier on today, George.
Was it 90 yards?
90 yards.
Wow.
So, 1st down again, Titans knocking on the door. Little shovel pass again to number 36. And he stays on his feet, picks up 8 yards. Does Jonathan Pangago. I will make apologies for some of the pronunciations. We've got the rosters in front of us, but there are some names that, even though we've tried to rehearse, we may struggle with. In fact, we've got a man stood at the back of the stadium who I kind of struggle with all year. Just call him David Ass instead of whatever his surname is. As for our backup quarterback at the Caesars, I don't know what he's called. Ash, that was it. So 2nd and 2, Manchester. Again, fake that inside run. Sidearm again, finds his receiver, Yain Kinder, who's heavily involved, and that's a 1st and goal, Manchester, at the Olympians 2.
You've obviously coached a little bit of QB.
A little bit.
That sidearm is, clearly it's not a fault. That's how he's throwing the ball. But
it's not a fault, but you wouldn't coach that necessarily. I remember probably one of the all-time pros, who Bernie Kosar from the Cleveland Browns, used to throw everything sidearm, and it does put a lot of pressure on your elbow, using your elbow rather than using your shoulder particularly. And I mean, if that's what Bloomfield is comfortable with, it's obviously effective at the moment.
It's working for him.
You know, it's one of those in a way. Oh, and there's a little trick play on the, and the ball is in. Wow. And we'll have a look at that replay, but a really little bit of trickery there as Bloomfield walks away from the centre, almost trying to convince the Olympian defenders that there's some confusion. The ball's directly snapped to his halfback, who finds Kinder in the end zone for the easy score.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that, certainly not this early. It's the sort of thing you keep away in your locker room until you really need it at the end. But
then,
there you go.
But then Manchester's philosophy, talking to their head coach, is score as many points as we can, and already they've built up a 2-score advantage with 2:50 left in the first period, trying to put this game away early on.
Yeah, it's one of those plays. It worked for them. It's not something I'd run, but you know.
It's a one-time play, isn't it?
It's a one-time play, yeah.
But hey, when a one-time play gains you 6 points,
it works.
And the extra point is up and through, and apologies, it's wide to the right as the kicker looks at the goalpost. So
no, I think I'm a little bit surprised to see it so early on in the game. Obviously, we're not out of the first quarter yet, but they've used it, they've called it. I don't know whether Olympians knew that was in the locker room, whether it was on any game film at all, but they called it and it worked.
So Bloomfield on that drive, perfect, 3 of 3 for 46 yards, and then on that final play, James Nunes, who we've been talking a lot about motion, he is perfect, 1 of 1, 2 yards and the score. We have, while we're waiting for this kickoff, Amber has made her way into the stands. It looks like she's with a Titans fan.
I am indeed. I'm here with Abby, who has been a really central part of the Titans family, and playing with the under 19s as well. So how have you found the first start for the Titans?
2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, can't say better than that. It's been a brilliant start, and what a play. I mean, direct snap to the running back just for a receiver to throw it to the QB. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
And how have you found the atmosphere so far in the stands today? Busy, excited, what's it like? Yeah,
to say we're not at home, there's a lot of royal blue, there's a lot of noise, and yeah, I think everyone's behind the guys today. It's definitely a good atmosphere.
That's brilliant. Yeah, well, so we'll go back to play.
Thanks, Amber. As number 82 for the Olympians fields the kickoff, and he manages to stay on his feet, bounce out to the right-hand side, get up to the 40-yard line, and that's Montel Patterson, who's been given kickoff duties, return duties this afternoon.
The lead man there for the Manchester Titans kickoff team. I'm not quite sure what that tackle attempt was. He just sort of dove at his feet with just sort of heads.
Kind of interesting, you mentioned about the crowd. Worcester yesterday, quite close to Tamworth, and Tamworth had a strong contingent there. Leeds here today, not far away from Manchester, and as Amber's alluded to there, and indeed the fan she spoke to, a very strong blue contingent here today.
Yeah, and I think it does wonders for the guys, absolutely. Tamworth, I think, really had the advantage with that 12th man.
Owusu on the carry, picks up 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7 for the Olympians, who really need to get a first down on this drive.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the Olympians. Well, yes, get the first down. They need to move the ball, but they're getting, it's 13-0. You're in the first quarter still, but you really ought to be looking to get at least 3.
You can't afford to go another 6 down at this stage, both for morale and for the fact that Manchester are this scoring machine, as they've proved this year. So 2nd and 7. Ball 1 hops towards the receiver, and Aaron Griffiths there intending to find Montel Patterson, but that never had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you've got number 84 there looking at it for the Olympians underneath. He looked open. That was Mackenzie. QB electing to throw downfield, so let's see what they come down with on 3rd. They are 9-1.
So 3rd and a long 7, maybe even 8 for the Titans. As for the Olympians, Griffiths drops back. He manages to hit his man, who steps out of one tackle and does indeed pick up enough for the first Olympians first down of the afternoon.
Yeah, nice little pickup there. Nice short throw.
Worth mentioning, this is an interesting one to keep an eye on. Titans number 66, Rick Hurst. He's at the game today. down there, he's playing. His wife is being induced for a child, but he's still here playing.
There's a lot of people that give up on their family life to be a role, even watch
Yes, we do.
Yesterday, never mind.
Yes, we do.
I haven't got much of a family life. I mean, my parents are at home and my brothers, but haven't got a wife, haven't got just me and the dog, really.
First down, Olympians. Aaron Griffiths with a quick pass to number 88. That's a nice reception by Stephen Kimmins.
Yeah, now starting to get those little quick receptions going. Move that ball upfield in a short to go.
You know when a pass is completed that soon, you know the quarterback has done a pre-snap read and knows where his receiver's going, has already spied the gap. And
or he's just throwing it with his eyes closed. That happens too. I watch Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
Saracen definitely has that ball closed. Had his eyes closed.
Second down and 2 Olympians looking to gain their second first down of the afternoon. March down and narrow that Titans deficit. Griffiths again drops back to pass. He's got a man and it's a risky ball, and number 81 almost comes down with the reception, Kevin Boaty.
Yeah, and it would have been a great grab if he had in double coverage. Just putting enough height on it to stop it for the safety, and the receiver coming in between the two, cutting out the defensive backs.
Speaking of double coverage, Nick Wilson Town here with his staff this afternoon. All over the social media. If you want to get in touch with us and get a little shout out with us for Onside Productions, George and I would love to hear from you. Hashtag BritBowl31. Griffiths again on third and short. See what happens. They hand the ball off, and the runner bounces out. Owusu picks up enough for another Olympians first down, and we seem to be having this offense rolling finally.
Owusu looks very leggy here actually. Runs very upright, but you know he's done enough to get the yardage there. And we've been comparing running backs throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of power backs, and then obviously we had Elliot Walters yesterday. You know,
for the Phoenix.
He seems to be right in the middle. Big, decent build, but he's got what looks like he could have a lot of speed.
So Griffiths again has another first down opportunity for the Olympians. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and Owusu in the backfield. Griffiths looks at that single receiver, and he's beaten his coverage, and he's made the completion. He's at the 10, and he's brought down inside the 10 at the 5-yard line, where it'll be first and goal, Olympians.
Yeah, 81 with the reception. Bote beats that cornerback. Looks it in, and he looks it in with his eyes. Nice pitch and catch. Perfect reception, beautifully put. Toffee Cat 10, your famous AJ Gronk 87. I just saw you on the Brit Bowl coverage. I assume that means 87. Is that George Slade maybe? Is it?
Score currently stands at London Olympians 0, Manchester Titans 13.
And at the exchange of quarters, as we allow the teams to take a breather and switch ends, with Manchester leading by 13-0, we'll cross back over to Amber, who I think is now with an Olympians fan.
I am indeed, but I've got a fun fact for you, talking about Rick with his wife being induced.
Yes.
We've got another one. So you know the name you couldn't pronounce. It's actually Jonathan Viagogo apparently, but we call him Fat Neck on the Titans team, so there you
Fat
go.
Neck.
Fat Neck. We love the nicknames here. And yes, I am indeed with an Olympians fan. Here's Tyler. You're going to tell us a bit about how it's been here, and you finally have something to celebrate, don't you?
Yes, it was a good catch from our wide receiver. I think it was a good catch, well recovered by the Titans, but it's been all right, good atmosphere at the ground, you know. I'd like to shout out a fellow player that's not here today. He goes by the name of Benga, just had a baby today. I'd like to congratulate him and his partner on that. Obviously, man, got a few shout-outs for the team, innit? Shout out Big 85 Dre. Shout out number 74 Ryan, my dogs.
So plenty to celebrate here. Lots of babies and football going on. I'll throw it back to you guys.
Thanks, Amber.
Yeah, just as you were coming up, talking there, and McClaney, well, he just came down with an absolutely monstrous hit.
Well, so as well as competing on the football field, they're obviously competing for babies. It's with Hurst partner being induced today, and there's an Olympian who's had a baby today. That's 1-1 on the baby front. Can we improve on that score? Anybody else fancy having a baby today on either side? Get in touch. It's great to see, obviously, the Olympians fans have made the effort to come up to Leeds as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit further away than Worcester, but it is great to have them here today.
So Griffiths on second down. Griffiths throws the ball behind number 88. Kimmins, the intended receiver, and just can't hang on, but Griffiths could have put that ball maybe a tad more in front of him.
Yeah, Olympians now looking like they're having a slight issue punching it in the red zone. Let's see what they come up with now.
Sound familiar, George?
Let's not talk about that. No, I think we were down there 4 times, and you know, 4 times we didn't get in. Obviously we scored 2 touchdowns, but 4 times and not converting any time. That's the
difference.
That's
when it's a 4-point game.
24 points that we didn't convert.
Yeah. Anyway, 3rd and goal for the Olympians on the Titans' 10-yard line. Trips to the left for Griffiths. Griffiths puts the ball out there.
Oh, and another drop. And I think McNully, you know, he was coming down. He's coming down, and as you've just rightly pointed out, he didn't look at him with his eyes.
Turned his head upfield just prior to securing possession. And that's a 4th down now for the Olympians. It appears they're bringing on a special teams unit to maybe at least come away with 3 points. Do you know what? I've thoroughly enjoyed this weekend, being able to be around 8 different outfits and see the way that some of the similarities between teams, but also some of the differences, as number 78 for the Olympians.
Sure.
Victor Alamidi, unfortunately, can't convert that 4th down opportunity, and the Olympians come up empty. But yeah, it's been lovely speaking to the coaches. It's been great being around the individual outfits and the enthusiasm of everybody. It's just been a fantastic weekend. Olympians so far then. Griffiths is 3 for 10 for 51 yards. Kevin Boaty's got 2 catches for 43 yards. And Andy Owosu, who we talked about, on 3 attempts has only gone for 10 yards so far. So that offense did get moving a little bit on that drive, but comes up empty. And if the Titans do what we've seen them do on their first 2 possessions, this one could be over quite early.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, we can move the ball in that central part as a team, and we struggle to punch it into the red zone. But,
so Bloomfield,
these guys,
great defensive effort.
That was a really nice play there by 92 for the Olympians. Looks like it was Jay Olio.
And Bloomfield set off to his right, handed the ball back on a misdirection play. But as you said, Jayola was there to snuff that one out, and first real negative play for the Titans offense. 2nd and 14. Titans on their own 15-yard line. Olympians defense could do with providing a bit of a spark here for the London-based team, as the Titans, number 26, it's that man Ryan Newton again.
Yeah, he gets the first. It looked like he had a little bobble there, but managed to rein that ball back in.
Maybe.
Yeah, just going back to that red zone point, you can sort of move the ball from your own 179 yards, and but when you get into that last 20, it's the hardest part of the field to shift that ball in. Obviously, the defense is a bit more confined, closer to the line of scrummage, and I know from our point of view, and I know a number of other teams really need to practice down that red zone side of things.
I'm sorry, George, but Bloomfield hits Bamba down the sideline, and he looks back and taunts number 54 a little as he goes into the end zone. But that is another Titans TD. 80 yards. 80 yards for the score.
Definitely.
So Bamba with a huge play. And so far we've seen 3 close affairs, but unfortunately with 13:25 left in the half, the Titans, with that extra point, go 20-0 ahead of the Olympians.
Yeah, and as Jimmy, our man in the booth, the man that controls the scoreboard, has rightly written down, so far this weekend, all 3 games so far have been 1-score difference. And here we are, early on in the second, with what is quickly becoming a blowout.
I asked head coach of the Titans what his philosophy was, and he basically said, we just want to score as many points as we can, so I don't think we'll see any let up there. That drive. We know that running back Ryan Newton, 2 carries, 10 yards, but then Bamba, 70 yards on that TD. Bloomfield 1 of 1 for 70 yards, and Bloomfield must be getting close to 200 yards passing already in this first half.
That's the sort of play that receiver from Caesars occasionally makes, isn't it?
That receiver from the Caesars? No,
Robbie Jones.
Oh, Robbie Jones from that receiver from the Caesars. Yeah, he regularly makes catches like that. As we watch this next kickoff, and the ball sails out of bounds, which will be an illegal procedure penalty against the Olympians.
Yeah, only just sorry, Matt. Only just bounced that side of the pylon. If it had gone the other way, it would have been a beautiful kick.
But nevertheless, we'll join Amber, who's on the Titans sideline once again.
Hi guys, I am with Jonathan Homer, the Titans head coach, who is here to talk a bit about
out of bounds.
How successful the team are doing.
Ball be placed
yeah, we're doing really well. Game started well for us. We've got 3 scores up. Our defense is containing their offense really nicely. So far so good.
Can you tell us about that last touchdown? It was pretty incredible, wasn't it?
It was pretty incredible. I'm not going to lie to you. I was messaging Nick up in the box, and I had my back to the play, but it looked like Sam hit Adam Bamba fresh down the sideline, and he streaked through for the score. So it's been good. I mean, Sam's been excellent for us all season. I think he's up to about 40 TDs through the air. Fresh the receivers come to us from Uniball, very strong receiver. So yeah, everything's positive.
And how are you looking for the rest of the game? Are you pretty confident right now?
It's American football. We were in the 19s final last week, and we were winning 15-0 with 7 minutes to go, and we managed to lose. So anything can happen. It's a momentum game. We just need to stay disciplined, keep scoring, keep not conceding, and yeah, we'll win.
So super focus from the Titans sideline. Back to you guys.
Green. 88.
Thanks, Amber. Just been handed another score.
False start. 88 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Sorry, Mr. Kavanagh. You may well be aware that as well as this game and the under-19 plate final today, there are Division 2 semi-finals taking place. The Leeds Bobcats and the Glasgow Tigers. Somewhat of an upset currently. Leeds Bobcats 8, the Glasgow Tigers 38. That is a current score.
I'm not sure. In my mind, Glasgow have always been a decent outfit in that division.
Somewhat from what people predicted, though, about that particular one, a little bit of an upset as Griffiths throws the ball and finds his receiver, and his receiver breaks the tackle, and he's off to the races. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, still on his feet. Touchdown, Olympians.
Number 82 there for the Olympians with the TD grab. Montel Patterson absolutely put on the burners once he caught that ball.
And what did Jonathan Holmes just say to Amber? Well, we're not comfortable yet. American football, anything can happen, and leads can change hands very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a way to do it. And you just look, he's making yards and yards and yards. That distance there, that gap, you know, defense never had a chance of catching him once he got open.
Running away from the Titans defense.
Yeah, absolutely, athlete.
So maybe we might have a game on then after all. Get in touch with us here at our stream this afternoon. Double coverage stream being brought to you by George and I and the boys at Onside Productions for our 4th game of the weekend. The extra point is up, and it is good to bring the score to Manchester 20 and the London Olympians 7. 13 to play in the half.
Yeah, Olympians will be really happy with that scoring drive. Obviously, they missed an earlier field goal, and that may play a factor if they can manage to get close enough again.
So, a little bit of an ignition of interest. As much as it's great for the team that are handing the punishment out and going a number of scores ahead, it's as a neutral, it's always good to see both teams into the game and things being a little bit competitive. So all concerned will be pleased with that Olympians quick strike.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it yesterday, the vulnerability of the team that's just scored. Manchester within only 3-4 plays there, giving up a big touchdown.
Like to try and bring you information if we can about the teams competing. We will do the same this afternoon with the Olympians and the Titans. As the kick is a short kick, which is fielded at the 15-yard line. And number 87 for Manchester picks his way, George Slade, and George Slade manages to pick up another 20 yards and get out at the bounds at the 34-yard line for Manchester's latest possession.
Yeah, he stayed really calm and collected there and just managed to find a small seam to get up.
So the Titans then, formed in 2003 by players native to Manchester who are tired of having to travel to play and inspired by the film Remember the Titans. Manchester has a long and successful history with the Spartans, the All-Stars and later the Heroes experiencing domestic and European success. First game for the Titans was in 2003. And
London Olympians, that's their first time out.
Yeah, 2003 marks an overdue return to the city for American football. That team in that particular year really struggled and took 2004 out of the game before returning in 2005, since they've been ever present. Playoffs in 2005 and 7 were followed by back-to-back 10-0 seasons, the first in 2009 and then 2010, which led to promotion for the team for the first time, and the Titans' only previous bowl final against the Olympians. This time the Titans had an under-19 team that started up, and indeed that under-19 team came down to Nottingham to play in our spring bowl that pre-season, which is
I remember that. That was my first game.
You were playing for the juniors, the under-19 juniors at that point. And Verity brought the team down, and since 2008 an under-17 team has competed. So the Titans, as with the Blitz, have now under Verity Braun got a real strong youth and junior program. And speaking to Titans head coach before the game, it's feeding in and providing some real talent for the junior team. Let's head across to Amber before the Titans start this latest drive. What do you got for us, Amber?
Well, I just had to comment on a bit of those stats that you were saying. I spoke to Lou Carlton, who's our offensive coordinator on the Titans team, and he was saying there's definitely some unfinished business from that Titan Olympian match or face-off that they had in 2010. So definitely the Titans have something to prove. But moving on from the Titans, I'm here with the lovely Lysander, who's with the Olympian fans here in the stands. How are you doing, Lysander?
I'm really good, thank you. How about you?
I'm not too bad. So how are you feeling after that Olympian touchdown?
Pardon?
How are you feeling after that touchdown?
Really good. I mean, both teams are looking really strong at the moment. Unbelievable game, like 3 touchdowns to 2, so anything could happen right now.
And how are you finding the atmosphere here? You've obviously travelled a long way to support your team.
Well, it's really good, but I play for the Yorkshire Rams, so this is our local stadium, so not too far for me to travel, but it's really good atmosphere, lots of people here.
That's brilliant. So we've got fans travelling from afar and even those ones near. I'll throw it back to you guys as the play's about to kick off.
Cheers, Amber. Number 25, Adam Newton. Oh, sorry, no, Ryan Newton, number 26, again on the carry. Sliding his way through, picking his gaps, and with a real nice off-tackle run to the left that time for Manchester to pick up another first down.
Read the seams really well, fought his way through.
So interesting to hear from Amber that there is some unfinished business from that previous bowl encounter between the Titans and the Olympians all the way back 10 years ago. And you can see from the way that Manchester keep attacking.
I was 13, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I was teaching you at that point.
Yeah, you were.
As Bloomfield sidearms another.
Not that I can be taught.
Looking for Kinder. We're told that it's Luke Kinder. So Kinder unfortunately can't snag that one, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10 Manchester. Still inside Titans territory at their own 46-yard line.
Bloomfield seems to be getting a decent amount of power off that sidearm throw that he's got going on. Seems to be fairly consistently accurate.
So Bloomfield again, 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the near side of the field closest to us. Bloomfield and Newton in the backfield. Bloomfield takes a low snap, rolls out to his right, and he looks to hit his receiver on an out, number 22, who makes the reception, tries to cut back inside, does James Nunes, and unfortunately loses his footing.
Yeah, I think they'll mark him up just short there.
3rd and 2, Manchester. See if they can pick up another first down. You see Nunes just slipping there as he makes his cut. But again, for the game, you would hope that the Olympians can halt the Titans, but obviously from the Titans' perspective,
I mean, they've certainly slowed them down, which is a good start.
First down after first down, and Bloomfield this time takes it himself, and he turns the corner, and he, number 51, basically
rodeo style.
Bunting piggybacks him. And he is going to be short of the first down, so Bunting does enough there.
Well, actually, Jonathan Vince there with the...
My mistake reading the wrong roster.
Didn't quite stay on for the full 8 seconds to get a rodeo mark.
It will be fourth down, and the Titans offense remain on the field. Only been one play so far from what I recall where the Titans have had negative yardage, so they're pretty confident in picking up this yard that they need to convert. Bloomfield, two receivers to the left. He hands off to Nunes, and he's met, but bounces off the tackle.
Well, Manchester are calling for a first down, but it looks to me from here
where
that they're short.
Yeah, where they're spotting that ball, I think Newton has come up short on that one. Depends on the spot, and the ball hits the deck, and
it looks short. It looks a good half-yard short.
The Olympians defense are walking off the field, and indeed Bloomfield and Newton come to the sideline as well, and it is a turnover on downs.
That'll give the Olympians defense some serious confidence.
And also put the offense in a really positive position,
yeah,
5 yards short of midfield.
It will. I think Manchester's offense will be disappointed there not to pick up those yards, but
credit to the Olympians defense up front.
Absolutely. The linebackers there played it really well, and I thought after that broken tackle he was going to go. They managed to rally round very quickly and bring him down.
So, first down, Olympians just inside their own half, hoping to cut the deficit again as we've got 10:44 left in the second period here at Leeds. Blessed with beautiful bank holiday weather, which you can't often say in the UK.
We've got the finest weather in the... I was going to say in the country then, I meant in the world, but...
Generally not on bank holidays. Now, we do have and have had yesterday.
Previous play is under review, video review.
As yesterday, we've managed to bring in a video review system to the games, and they were used yesterday effectively. And for the first time this afternoon, looking for the spot of the ball. We're going to see whether we've got it right.
Ball on the field stands as called. The ball was short of the line to gain. First down, London.
So there we go, after the review.
I'm not sure whether that was an official review or whether that was Manchester's. And if somebody from our sideline crew could find out, it will mean that Manchester have now lost their video review.
Manchester Titans have no further challenges remaining in this game.
So therefore it was a review induced by the Titans.
Now to me, you know, we're at an awkward spot actually to see that ball, but even from my perspective, I thought that was well short. I feel that was it was a waste of a review. Get that word out.
A waste of a review. Well, it depends on, from a Manchester perspective, what they're trying to do is pile points on as early as possible, and if that could have been overturned.
I mean, I debated one call during our game calling the review, but unless it's really in the middle field, particularly if it's this near sideline when you've got players blocking off anything to that sideline, it's very difficult to try and overturn it.
As number 27, Owusu, breaks free, steps through tackles, picks his way through the O-line, and trundles 40 yards down to the Titans' 10 for a first and goal.
There you go, he had a real mix of power and speed there, and little quick burst of speed as he found, and bang, 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 stiff arm there, real nice stiff arm too, using his length.
In fact, he's marked outside the 10-yard line, so it'll be first and 10 on the Titans' 13.
Olympians coming back fast.
And we could be in for, if the Olympians can pull this back and get within 6, then yeah, then the Titans are in for a ball game, as we all are here, which would be a wonderful way to round out Brit Bowl 31 weekend.
We've got number 49 in the backfield for the Olympians. It does appear to be Adrian John.
Griffiths throws to his left, and once again...
Yeah, he's dropped another one. It looked like Patterson there.
Patterson guilty of not looking that ball in again.
Yeah, not the most consistent catcher, but when he does get that ball, we know he's got some explosive speed behind him.
Two similar patterns, and Patterson leaves the field. Looks to have shaken up his right hand a little, right arm, as he whips that glove off. And like you say, he does have speed, and I think
you've got to get the ball in hand first.
They're relying on him on that particular pattern. They're relying on him making that catch and then stepping round his defender, number 20 for the David McAnally, and getting the good yak yards as the pass is played into the 5-yard line. The reception is made. And
yeah, Mackenzie using his strength after the catch there.
He's going to be just shy of the first down, I think.
Deem him inches, yeah.
And it is going to be 3rd down and inches. It's where you need Tom Henley up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the few quarterbacks, I think, both at junior or senior, that is more than happy to, to just go, sod this, I'm going to go beat your defense.
Nick and I mentioned in commentary that he's not your stereotypical quarterback
No,
shape.
he's not, absolutely not.
But effective in what he does.
He does, and he's actually relatively quick. He's not the quickest, but he's relatively quick.
This is Tom Henley, Caesars under-19 quarterback who played earlier on and scored a touchdown up the middle as Griffiths throws to the outside, and he's got his man in number 88, and that's Kimmins who falls forward for the first down, and the Olympians will have 4 shots from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, another great little quick throw there by the Olympians to move that ball, move that chain.
These do seem to be very pre-snap throws, very quick hitting throws.
Yeah, I mean those little curls, those little quick slants. There's not a lot you can do for a defense. It's a case of reducing the yardage or hitting the receiver hard enough to make him drop the ball.
There's also the danger as well of if as a DB you play up in coverage expecting that pattern to come.
I mean from a defensive perspective, I would be looking to probably play press if they're doing that.
The trouble is with the press, if you press too hard and you bite on that little that hitch.
I think
delay of game, offense number 19, 5-yard penalty, still the down.
I think within your own 20, I think you're not going to get beat deep as such. It's either going to be a score or it's not. But for those pre-snap reads, it really is effective.
So, 1st and goal from the 2 becomes 1st and goal from the 7 after the delay of game by Griffiths and the Olympians. 8 minutes left in the half. Maybe, if anything, it gives the Olympians a little more space to work with. Although Owusi has shown that he can run through traffic, and Griffiths, another quick pass, caught again by Kimmins, back to the original line of scrimmage.
I have to say Manchester Titans defense very quick to the receiver once he's made the catch. You see 2 guys there, number 7 leading the way for Manchester, Ryan Allen.
2nd and goal from the 2, I say from the original line of scrimmage prior to the delay of game penalty. It's nice to see the Olympians now having got into their stride a little. 2nd and goal.
I really hear the Manchester crowd.
Not quite the air horns of the Tamworth crowd. Owusi is met at the 2 and he fumbles the ball.
Looks like a Manchester recovery.
And it has been signalled by the official. Manchester Titans ball at their own 4-yard line.
Oh, the Olympians will be gutted.
Yeah, and maybe, like we said earlier, that upright style, not protecting the football.
No, it makes it difficult for a running back if they're running so upright. Obviously, we tell our guys to wrap up 2 hands when they're going through traffic, but he's just got stripped there. Manchester the quickest to it. They've turned it over, and they'll be glad of that, but they're on their own 2-3 yard line, so they've still got a way to go to be in a safe point here.
So 7 minutes, close to 8 minutes left in the half. Manchester pinned back on their own 3-yard line. Let's see if the O's bring the pressure. Press coverage on the outside, slot receiver, the DB playing off a little, and
oh, big hit.
But he does pick up yardage, and his momentum will be stopped after a gain of maybe 2.
You can hear that thud there as the tackler came in.
Big Amoko. Sorry, my mistake. The one and only Fat Nick on the carry.
Is that what we're calling him?
Well, Amber seems to think that's what we're calling him. Unless we get told by the Titans sideline otherwise. Apparently they like their nicknames.
I like to chime in there. It's Fat Neck, not Fat Nick.
Fat Neck.
Fat Neck.
Well, I tell you what, at least it's nice to know someone's listening to us, Amber.
Oh, of course, definitely. You're always listening.
So fat neck. I didn't know, I wasn't quite sure where the nick bit came from, but anyway, there we go. But obviously relying on fat neck to get them away from their own end zone.
Well, Pangego, if you are listening to this stream later, apologise, but that is what Amber's told us to call you.
There you go. Third down, though. Manchester Titans inside their own 10-yard line at their 7. 3rd and 6 for the Titans. Be important, really, for the Olympians to stop this, and you would expect this ball, and it looks like it's going to be that shovel pass, and it works effectively, and he breaks through, and Newton still on his feet, and he's still on his feet, past midfield. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Titans.
Wow. He's only had his eyes for one spot on that field. Only had his eyes on one spot on that field, and he took it all the way to the house.
And Ryan Newton, after breaking that tackle, and that little inside shovel pass has worked on a number of occasions now for Manchester, but that is a real back-breaking momentum shift after the Olympians were down on the 2-yard line, threatening to go in. That fumble, and then huge rush by Newton, and once again extends the score, the lead rather, to 3 scores. So, looking to add the extras, the Titans. Kick it up, and it looks like it's skewed to the right.
Well wide, that was.
So the score remains here in Leeds. The Manchester Titans 26, the London Olympians 7. 6 minutes 26 to go in the first half in this Division 1 Championship final. We'd love to hear from you if you get in touch. Let us know how you're enjoying the stream. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're supporting. Looking down again, seems to be even more people coming into the stadium on this Bank Holiday Sunday weekend. Get involved.
I think it's great to see, though, isn't it?
Hashtag BritBowl31. Let us know where you are, what you're doing. Watching with the barbecue. We had people watching the Prem final yesterday as far as Shanghai and Texas and Virginia and Finland, all over Europe. It looks like, as we await this latest special teams kickoff, we can hand back down to Amber. What do you got for us?
Yeah, you can. So basically, I just had my ears blown off by Joe Nick's mum, Belinda. I mean, we were all screaming, weren't we? And we're with his dad as well, Wayne. So how are you guys finding the game so far?
I think it's fair to say it's pretty one-sided right now. It's a shame Joe's not on the pitch. Just watching him pacing up and down on the sideline tells me that he's frustrated right now, to be fair.
I think we all got, mixed feelings, a bit of frustration, a bit of anxiety, but, generally the Titans are doing well. What about you, Belinda? What do you think?
I think the game's fantastic. It's probably not what everybody written, but is written to happen, but I think we are going to win, definitely. Have faith. It's going to be our game, is this. They're playing so hard, and their hearts and souls are into this game, and it's fantastic to watch. And I think I'm losing my voice for all the screaming. It's just an absolute dream to watch. It's fantastic.
Well, there you go, got some passionate fans, and I say if your voice is still at the end of a football game, it means it's been a good game, right, guys?
Absolutely, Amber, quite right. And like yesterday, we mentioned yesterday about the parents and the involvement of parents at the under-19 level, and the fact that East Kilbride brought so many travelling fans down with them. Parents at this level, just as important. It's great to see parents here in the stands.
I think the danger for Manchester right now is that they don't burn themselves. That was a fantastic grab. Looked like number 88 for the Olympians there. Kimmons with that grab, going backwards. Wow, that's something you like to see.
Really athletic, and you could see that the Titans defender was just behind him in case that ball wasn't snagged to pick off again. But
like DB, you got to make that challenge though. You can't wait for it to come down.
Love to see a receiver high pointing the ball like that as well.
Absolutely. No, I think the danger for the Titans here is that they burn out in the first half. Clearly, they've got some serious depth down there. You look at the numbers. But that will be a concern, I'm sure. Once again, though, Olympians showing some resolve and moving the football on this drive. 5 minutes 40 left in the first half, and Griffiths goes to the air again, and it's picked off and hurdles out of a tackle. And then he's absolutely levelled by number 61 for the Olympians.
That's Martin O'Connor.
Laid out the boom.
David McAnally with the interception, hurdle out of one tackle, and then O'Connor comes and delivers the punishment, but another big swing.
Yeah, absolutely, but boom.
As Bloomfield comes back onto the field, he's currently 12 of 18 for 280 yards and 3 scores. Impressive figures for one half of play, particularly when you think about Newton running the length of the field for that last score.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But then, you know, he had a huge play from Bamborough, Bamborough earlier on with that, where he pretty much ran it all the way down the length of the field.
So, first down Titans, just across their 40-yard line at their 43. Bloomfield and the offense look to the sidelines to those play boards. 2 receivers to the left. Ball is handed off to Fatneck. And Fatneck is met almost immediately after a pickup of 2 yards. Second down as the clock continues to tick in this first half. Coming up at half-time, we hope to bring you a little bit of analysis of the first half, but also an interview with a member of BAFA about their thoughts of the weekend. The ball, Bloomfield goes down the right-hand side, and good coverage. Intended receiver there was number 22. We've mentioned his name quite a lot, James Nunes.
Yeah, it's Wayland with the coverage.
So yeah, we're hoping to get Russ Hewitt from BAFA, competitions director, who's been very much responsible for this weekend's fixtures and putting everything in place for the successful weekend we've had. So stay tuned for that. Once again, the BAFA committee and the BAFA team that have been working all weekend, both with the teams, and you mentioned how you have been felt really well catered for as a visiting coach up here, George.
Yeah, I think I got special treatment, to be fair. No Verity, you know, Faye I've dealt with all year. Obviously we did a little bit of work with them yesterday.
Bloomfield.
So yeah, we were catered for.
Sorry, Bloomfield on the connection there to Adam Bamber again, number 6. So here we go. 4th down, and the Olympians successfully
Flag on the play.
Fielded with the fair catch by number 10 for the Olympians, Rory Golding, but they, like you said, there is a flag on the field. So, it was an illegal procedure penalty against the Olympians. Very quickly, while we've got this quick break in play before play starts again, we'll pop back down to Amber.
Hi, so I'm with Charlie of the Manchester Titans on the sideline here in the shade, cooling down. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. My team's winning.
Illegal procedure.
I'm so excited and happy.
5 men in the backfield on Manchester. That penalty will be tacked on to the end of the kick. First down.
Sorry, just interrupted there by the umpire, but quickly, Charlie, how are things going?
I think they're going really well. Titans seem to be shutting down most of the Olympians' tries at the end zone, and but we seem to be doing quite well at pressuring the Olympians from our offence as well.
So it's looking good for the Titans so far. They need to stay focused, and the Olympians still have everything to play for, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. It's exciting to see this team. I've been with them now for 4 years. We've got history making on the sideline with the first female player to play in a national final for our senior team. Our ladies team's like going from strength to strength. It's back on the 12th of September down at Bellevue.
Yeah, so there we've got, the ladies who've been plugged there, but, it's just fantastic to see that, so many diverse players on the pitch, women playing for the mixed team as well, and just it seems to be a lot of first and excitement here at the John Charles Centre for Sport.
Thanks, Amber. Incomplete pass on first down there. You really think, George, that with 4 minutes left in this one, Olympians need to get on the board before the half?
Yeah, they really do. They need to get something. Ideally a touchdown. A field goal will give them some confidence that they can move the ball downfield, but it really needs to be a touchdown for these boys today.
Because I think, well, I know I'm right, as the ball swung out to the left side, and nice catch made by Amoko, but only picks up a couple of yards before a good open field tackle is once again executed by the Titans. As I was saying, the Titans will open the second half with the ball.
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation for the Olympians. We discussed it yesterday about the blitz swing, 14-point swing. See what happens here.
Number 81 with the reception for the Olympians. That's Kevin Boaty once again, but he's going to be short of the first down. So on fourth down, the Olympians will go 3 and out and punt the ball back, and there's still time, 3 minutes and change left for the Titans to put another score on the board and almost get out of sight by half-time.
Yeah, we knew Titans were good. I wasn't quite expecting. I was expecting them to put up a lot. But this soon, I'm not quite sure.
And it's a fake by the Olympians, and the Olympians rush round the far end. It does appear that number 27, Owusu, has picked up enough for the first down. Brave play this point in the game.
Yeah, it was, but they needed something. And he does well, actually, to get around number 22 of the Titans, James Nunes.
Drops his shoulder and picks up that first down. First down Olympians. 2 minutes 30 to go in this first half. Need to try and get moving a little bit. Maybe a little bit of hurry up needed from the Olympians coaching staff.
Yeah, clock is ticking.
They know they've got the burner Patterson, who already has run a long reception in for a score as Griffiths goes to Kimmins, and Kimmins plays DB, and it's once again intercepted.
Yeah, there's a really, really nice coverage by Manchester's number 28, Lee Horrocks there. Manages to get on the inside of the receiver, and there you go, almost straight into his hands.
Stride for stride with Kimmins. And Manchester get the ball once again. 9 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. Well, that's plenty of time for the Titans to move down the field. Let's see how keen they are and passing the 30-point mark. 3:06 left in the half.
I think they'll be looking to certainly get another score this half.
Play is stopped, and I think that'll be a timeout. Although, is it some equipment infringement? Let's have a look. It's an equipment infringement by Nunes. And Nunes has to come off the field.
And actually, this slot receiver this side looks like Bamba. He was very quick to put his gum shield back in.
Bloomfield takes the opportunity to talk to his sideline once more. First down Titans. Their 32-yard line. 3 minutes and change left. Ball handed off once again. And it's that man, Ryan Newton, who picks his way through, picks up 3 or 4. And the clock continues to run.
So number 22 is returning to the field, James Nunes, having put his gum shield in. My quarterback earlier today had a similar situation.
Get pulled up on it?
He did, in the red zone. Not the greatest point to lose your starting quarterback for a play, but there you go.
Bamba in motion. Newton again takes the carry, picks up a more positive yardage, brings up 3rd and short. The way that this is going, actually, it's It doesn't necessarily strike that the Titans are that keen on extending their lead, although
it could well be a baiting tactic.
Yeah. 3rd and 4, Manchester, still inside their own half. Coming up on the 2-minute warning.
That's the 2-minute warning, 2-minute warning. Manchester has 1 timeout remaining. London has 2 timeouts remaining.
Apologies, it may appear that number 6 for Manchester is Rob Newton rather than Adam Bamber. Try and get some confirmation on that for you if we can. As Bloomfield rolls to his right and in and out of the hands of number 6. Again, possibly Rob Newton. And that will bring up 4th down. Fourth down, punt situation once again for the Titans. And it's a fake punt from the Titans, and they hit Nunes, and Nunes gets the first down.
There's a flag on the play.
And there is a flag on the play, and that could well be for illegal procedure. Not enough men. Let's wait to hear from the call from referee Kavanagh. So I take this opportunity just once again to thank Double Coverage, obviously Onside Productions and EP Sports for this weekend's coverage of Brickball.
Ineligible receiver downfield, Manchester Titans. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
I suspect they will now punt it away.
You would think so.
They have run it. That's the second sort of fake play, special play that they've run today.
So 4th and 9 now. And the punt is put down the field. And Rory Golding lets the ball bounce, and it takes a Titans bounce all the way down to the 20-yard line. With 1 minute 40 left on the clock, the Olympians will attempt to go 79 yards to try and reduce the gap.
See if they can muster anything together here. We've actually discussed this a couple of times. You're getting close to the end of the half. You're deep in your own half. Do you start chucking?
You tell me. You do.
I wasn't in this situation.
You do.
We weren't in this situation.
You were down a long way in this same position. It's where Alex Stocks got the big pickup for you.
It wasn't. Alex Stocks scored in the second half.
Yes, when you were 20 points to 7 down in that position on the field. But anyway, the ball is up in the air.
That was the second half.
And it's completed.
We're in the...
Number 81 with the reception. Kevin Boaty. Clock continues to run. I think in this situation, I do think...
You got to start looking for it.
If it's a 1 score, maybe even 2 scores, maybe not, but...
But you're 3 getting on for 4 scores
thrown 2 picks already.
3 scores. You're 3 scores down.
Yeah,
here.
3 scores down. Thrown 2 picks already. You've got to get some confidence as well as points, and the ball is, and it's that man again, Patterson. Yeah. But if you look where he's looking, look at the shadows, he's looking directly back into the sun for that one. Nevertheless, he should be making the catch, but that's the Patterson's 3rd drop on very similar patterns. 3rd and 4 for the Olympians. 59 seconds on the clock. Really need to convert here. Need a big momentum play here, the Olympians do. because you can feel the atmosphere is very flat, and I know that's largely because there's a bigger contingent of fans in blue in the crowd, but let's see what Griffiths can muster. Griffiths hits his man, number 81, and that's Boaty, and Boaty isn't going to get enough for the first down.
Yeah, elected to run laterally rather than try and find a seam upfield. And as a receiver, that's really the first thing you need to do is turn, look for space upfield.
Situational football as well. No, you've got to those yardage to get the time on the clock, and the clock continues to run.
The clock's going to run here. Now, the fourth, they are looking like they're going to go for it.
It does look like they're going to.
I suspect they've asked the official to give them a call down, as it were.
Oh, that's a false start. False start from number 75 on the Olympians offensive line. Jamal Johnson, unfortunately, came up out of his stance way too early.
Trying to QB sneak.
That does look like what they were intending. And now I think you'll see the punt unit come out for the Olympians once they get marched 5 yards back, or as Griffiths heads towards the sideline. Head coach Neil Edwards there in the red peak cap. Here's the call.
Dead ball, false start. London, that's a 5-yard penalty. London has elected to take a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff. London.
So London have taken that timeout, and as a result there won't be a 10-second runoff after the penalty, so there's 20 seconds remaining. Fourth down and the punt team come on, and we may see one offensive play for the Titans.
Well, you know, do you try for a field goal? Get another 3 points on the board? You're not that far out.
Depends, yeah, depends on where this punt ends up landing.
Doesn't look like Bloomfield's come out, actually.
No, it's fourth down.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so the Olympians are still going to be kicking this one away, but what you do see is the Titans aren't putting a returner back deep.
Well, Bloomfield should be out. Should be out there returning, leading a unit.
So the Olympians look to punt. I think the Titans were just thinking, let's make sure there's no trick plays run, and it takes a big Olympians bounce. And it's downed at the 35-yard line, and that will be very close to being the end of the first half.
Looking across at the Olympian sideline, a few arms thrown in the air, so I suspect they wanted their boys just to leave it, let the clock keep ticking, just run out. But it does give Bloomfield and his men another opportunity to see if they can do anything.
So coming up at half-time, I can see Russ Hewitt, competitions coordinator.
He's always hovering about somewhere.
Yeah, he's just popped up to the booth. We'll have a quick chat with him about his thoughts for the weekend. And we'll look forward to the second half of this one, where hopefully the Olympians can make things a little more competitive in the second half to round out our Brit Bowl 31 coverage. First down, Manchester, and Bloomfield going to the air, and he's going to the air, and he's going deep, and he's got a man deep, and he's got number 6 who evades the first tackle, and he's at the 20, he's at the 10, and that, ladies and gentlemen, could be the end of this ball game.
Brit Bowl Nation, and we very much hope you're enjoying.
Number 6, whether it's Adam Bamba. We do believe it's Adam Bamba, number 6.
Got a number of different
number 6s. But what a play, an explosive play, and as the head coach for the Titans said to me before the game, we want to score as many points as we can. There is a flag on the play though, but it'll probably be for the celebration. So I think the play will stand as the special teams unit go out onto the field, and number 15, Aaron Ainsworth-Bocott, sets himself to kick the extra point.
Yeah, this really has become a blowout now.
The touchdown is good. After the touchdown, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 6, Manchester Titans, spiking the ball. That's a 15-yard penalty that the London Olympians have elected to take on the kickoff for the second half. Touchdown on time down.
The only thing you can say, I suppose, in this situation, if you're an Olympians fan or on the sideline, is Manchester have scored 32 and a half. If we can adjust and we can play a little better in the second half, there's no reason we can't put up the same amount of points. It is a big ask.
Yeah, I mean, from what they've shown us so far, I think you struggle to see the Olympians scoring 32 points.
The kick is up from the Titans, and the extra point is good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is half-time here in Leeds. Although there is another flag, I believe, on the play. Let's just have a wait and see for this as the Titans jog in. Here's referee Kavanagh once again.
Offside, defence number 6. That penalty is declined. Result of the try, good. That's the end, the first half.
So our half-time score here in Leeds is the Manchester Titans 33, the London Olympians 7. We'll join you again for our half-time show in a few minutes, but that's for now. We'll see you soon.
Hello Britball Nation, and we very much hope you're enjoying this live stream of the entire Britball 31 weekend. While we've got your attention, just a quick note to say that all this is only possible thanks to the support of EP Sports. We're huge fans of EP Sports here at DC, and not just because we've worked really closely with them over the past couple of years, but because they're also among the top advocates of the domestic game in the UK, supporting teams, events, and of course providing superb access to the very best equipment to ensure you're able to succeed as a coach or a player before you even step out onto the field. We talk about Joe and his team at EP as ballers for ballers. These guys have played at the very highest levels of the game in the UK, winning national championships both at home and abroad. As such, their customer service and advice is second to none. When they talk to you about equipment, the best pads, the best lid for your position, for your price range, they really know what they're talking about. EP Sports offer the largest range of American football kit and equipment in the UK, in fact one of the largest in all of Europe, and so whether you're just getting into the game, looking to upgrade your gear as we head to the off season, or kit up in preparation for Uniball, check out epsports.co.uk to see their new range of the NFL New Era caps for the 2017 season, or visit their store near Liverpool to use their professional fitting service.
The big challenge in rugby union, rugby league and American football at the moment is the ongoing safety concerns. Concussion is a big topic, impact injuries. So let's just look at the tackle in isolation. There's 4 ways, in my opinion, that you can really coach the tackle well. Static technical equipment that moves, live static play and live movement. There are others as well that are being developed. And I think you can develop the tackle technique best through those methods. Over the past 10 years I've developed training equipment for rugby union, rugby league that's used all over the world now by the best coaches, top teams throughout the world, specifically targeting the area of collision, breakdown, attack and defence and the whole tackle area, which has always been a sort of major focus of mine. Over the past 3 years I've developed a tackle system that can be now used in football. The key thing when you're developing training equipment is they must replicate the movement patterns of your players, the key movement patterns that you want to create as a coach. Secondly, they must be able to give the athlete feedback, so if you don't carry out the drill or the practice or the technique correctly on that piece of equipment, it should just about tell the player. It must challenge your execution through the weight of the equipment and the design of it, the functionality of it, the size of it. So for example, you must have the correct density of foam in there. If you don't and they're too light, then they won't bring around the correct movement principles that you're trying to coach. It can't be seen as an easy option. There's a great quote out there, isn't there? If the training aid doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. You'll never beat going live. That's the number one thing. But we've got to be far more clever in the way that we get there now, especially as coaches that coach collision, whether it be rugby, union, rugby league or American football. We've got to be far more adept to creating sessions that are going to get our player to the end point in a safe manner. The key is that you must coach the key fundamentals, and I've always believed that although we talk so much about health and safety, the number one thing is performance. If we can make our players perform better, then it's obviously going to have an impact on the injuries that we see weekly, monthly and from season to season. So they're the key things. The tackle system has been designed to look at different levels. Level 1 from ankle to knee, level 2 from knee to hip, and level 3 from hip to pec. I'm a great believer that a player must be able to operate at all these 3 levels, must be creating the multi-purpose tackling machine, if that's how you want to call it. And I know that the grey tackle system will definitely aid that. It's been well used a number of the pieces in rugby union to great effect, and I know it's going to have great transfer into the sport of American football.
Welcome to the Onside Productions halftime show. We're joined by Director of Competitions, Russ Hewitt from BAFA.
Thank you.
Afternoon.
Thank
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
so, obviously, this game looks like heading for a bit of a blowout. Other than that, what are your thoughts on the weekend, Brit Bowl 31?
Oh, it's been phenomenal weekends. Close games, backwards and forwards. Every time you get into a game, you think someone's taking it away from a little mistake. It's been an absolutely sensational backwards and forwards. I don't think this one's over. The London Olympians have got some phenomenal athletes, and they've had some breakaway plays. And it's just finishing inside the 10-yard line, and it could be a lot closer. So I don't think they're done by any measure. But Manchester are really piling on the pressure. They're really going after it.
Speaking to Martin Cockerell earlier on
Yes.
today, he mentioned, and I've mentioned it in commentary already, about the not only from the amount of views we've had on the stream, but the amount of fans that turned up to Worcester, particularly yesterday.
Yes, you know, when we put the 2 London teams in Alexander's Park in London about 2.5 years ago, that was the biggest gate we've ever had in the last 5-6 years, and yesterday it blew the doors off it. We took over £700 more than we've ever taken before. So you're looking at a great, and the atmosphere was phenomenal yesterday. The noise and everything else was great.
Not something that's talked about as much as I think it should be. The youth and junior side of things, obviously you've taken a huge role this year. How do you think that's gone this season?
I've fallen in love with it. You know, my first year truly involved in it all. The under-17s, the way the teams approach it, 40 teams in the country, playing tooth and nail. The final weekend, 320 players there was amazing. Then under 19s, we have done a few things different this year. Had a cup competition, try and keep people involved longer, and I think there's only produced 3 forfeited games. You know, you've had 90% of the teams get the full 6-game season, which has been phenomenal. And it's about getting players games. Our youth team, our junior team, managed to put 26 games in combined. That's phenomenal, phenomenal, and that's what you need for them to play football.
And equally, that youth and junior setup now, you see more and more teams having the youth and the junior, and then it feeds so well into the adult game.
The teams have been very communicative. They speak to us. They try and say what the pros and the cons are, or what's going on. That's instigated the reviews with ages, and that's why I think it's had a relatively good acceptance with the change, because the teams have had input and had words to it. We're not trying to damage anything. We just want to improve the number of players playing junior football.
Do you think the proposed changes in age range towards, well, for this next coming season, do you think it'll be the best way to approach what appears to be a dying junior programme?
The window of junior football, and Nick mentioned earlier on one of the streams that you could go from 17 up and then play
straight into senior.
It's under 18 football, sure. And if you want to develop people, you know, develop young athletes, you need to give them a little bit more football. You need to have them start a little bit younger, like everywhere else does in the world. So that's really the process there. But we didn't want to damage how good youth football is. We want to improve junior football and give programs. You know, our goal is. There's only 16 teams in the country playing. We want to get to 24 as quick as we can, as efficiently and as strength we can, so we can have better regions, and then we go from there. So I don't think it damaged it, but we had to take a very careful approach.
So coming to the end of the 2017 Brit Ball season, obviously BAFA will be hard at work in the off-season. Plans in place for 2018?
Yes, definitely. Scheduling, we're looking at removing the dual eligibility. 17.
Yeah, scheduling out before March this year.
100%. But we do need some assistance from the general managers.
Of course you do.
You know, they need a little bit of time off, but we need some assistance from them. But we're looking at scheduling and bracketing times, so you can put some things together. So under 17s, flag, cadet can all be sorted straight away. And then we just need support from any team, adult teams that have junior programs, so we can get them sorted quickly, and then everyone gets them sorted quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the only thing coming up next year in week 30, 31 is going to be IFAF Europeans, so there's going to be some GB activity there.
Yeah.
So it's going to change the playoffs very, very slightly, but it's not going to change everyone's football.
And in terms of, you mentioned GB, the standard, I mean, the games yesterday, I've been involved with football for sort of 30 odd years on and off in coaching and doing this sort of thing. The standard just does seem to be improving all the time, right from the youth.
Exactly.
It's got to impact the national programme, is it not?
It's definitely. Jason Henry was there yesterday. We're coaching his team and the team he's been around for all these years. But the amount of players you see week in, week out, you would have seen them too.
Yeah, absolutely.
5, 6, 7, 10 tier players per team.
Yeah.
It's going to be such a tough task. I know Coach Henry is raring to go. He's got combines planned. He wants to get all around the country. He wants to see people. He wants to get, test kids, see what they can do, show their abilities, but also develop from a young age. So what he's got coming up is going to be phenomenal. And then without that, we've got, sorry to cut you off, but the adults are preparing to play Sweden in a friendly game ahead of Europeans next year. And then we can't discount what the women did this year.
The women, they had a fantastic.
It hasn't been mentioned much at
Yeah.
all, but they were absolutely phenomenal what they did. We want to congratulate them. There's a terminal time, difficult time approaching it, going out there. Well, how they achieved what they did was phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, a great advocate for the women's game. Certainly, they played out of their skins.
Absolutely,
I think.
absolutely. So obviously, you guys from BAFA have worked very hard all weekend. Put you on the spot a little bit. One thing you've been particularly pleased about this weekend?
I think it's just the support that people have come out today. The support and everything else that happens. The amount of people watching the game. They're not coming all to the stadium.
No.
The numbers that you guys have had on the stream has been phenomenal. And people have been saying to me how shocked and how good, pleasantly shocked they are with the quality.
Yes, absolutely.
Instant replays you put out, HD footage. So the amount of people that watched it has been great. And then we had a huge turnout yesterday. That really put a real icing on the cake.
Yeah, it really did. Being in that stadium with Tamworth supporters, we could hear them from our end. And,
the atmospheric mics really did do the business. Well, obviously, I mean, the reason we've said this before, the reason that Steve and Tom and all the crew with Onside are here, and the reason we do what we do is because we just want to see get extra exposure for the game. I know you guys are all about growing the game as well. So it's an honour for us to have been invited this weekend, and I hope we can be again.
Absolute pleasure, definitely. The relationship we've built with Nick and you guys assisting him and everything else has been phenomenal. And we want to keep giving back to people in the sport. We've been junior football, we've been giving back to try and help travel ourselves at least. You're trying to use people within the sport rather than get a contractor here or there.
And as we've mentioned all weekend, it takes so many volunteers, from parents to you guys, to Nick at DC, to the Onside production, to make the whole package that I think we're finally seeing.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd actually like to take the opportunity as a junior coach to thank you particularly for what you've done this year for the junior game. I think it's been certainly the best well-run year that I've had coaching.
Okay, brilliant.
And with the travel subsidies, as you say, we went up to East Kilbride, and to have that extra support from you guys, I think was really, really good.
It's the weakest part of our sport, but it's the things we have to try and
I hope as a community we can continue to grow that.
Definitely.
Well, I will just say thank you ever so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you for inviting me over for a chat, and thank you for everything you've been doing for us.
You're welcome. Enjoy the second half.
Yeah, and you have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant, thank you.
So Russ, hear it there from BAFA, Director of Competitions. Great to have a chat with him, as it always is from people from BAFA. We'll leave you for a couple of minutes. We'll draw breath, and then we'll join you shortly for the second half. So welcome back to the Division 1 Championship here at John Charles Centre for Sport in Leeds. We mentioned in our first half commentary that the Titans would be receiving the opening kickoff.
These steps are killing me.
Yeah, I tell you what, keeping fit. I don't know when I'm going to get a breather, probably when I'm dead.
Well,
won't be long. While we watch that second half kickoff get underway, it sails out of the back of the end zone. The Titans will begin with first down on their own 20. Listen to these stats, George. Titans first half, Bloomfield, 15 of 22, 349 passing yards and 4 TDs.
Do you know that 349? Was it 349, 348? Very similar to Mahoney Jones.
Not in a half. And then we've got rushing.
There was
Adam
a flag.
Bamber.
Sorry to interrupt you. There was a flag on that play. See what they call. Yeah, Adam Bamber.
Adam Bamber, 5 catches.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 30, London Olympians. 15 yards added to the end of the kick, first down.
And the Olympians hurting themselves before a snap has even been played in the third.
It was actually a short field as well for the Olympians, as they had 15 yards tacked on.
Absolutely.
To the kickoff marking spot.
So, yeah, Adam Bamber, 5 receptions, 182 yards and 2 scores.
That's some doing, isn't it?
And then for the standout performers from the Titans. For the Olympians, Griffiths, 12 of 24, 174 yards.
It's not too bad.
1 TD, but 2 picks. That's always going to help hurt as Bloomfield goes long on first down, and he looking for Luke Kinder just off his fingertips.
Yeah, another going for it straight from the get-go, going for the jugular.
Owusi, 6 rushes, 58 yards, but that costly fumble when they're on the 2-yard line of the Titans. And Patterson had his 1 catch for 70 yards in the score, but we know
Division 1 Premiership that's gone to the Mercy Clock. We're not 100% sure on that.
Could be. We need the Olympians to try and get back into this one if they can on this possession, as it's fielded by Sandholm. Makes it back out to the 25, maybe up to the 27.
Yeah, decent pop there. It looks like number 2, Josh Turner, that knocked him out of bounds.
Now it's really time for the Olympians to show their worth, and as Russ said, some phenomenal athletes on that London side.
Yeah, you got to get the ball in those athletes' hands though, and so far they've struggled to do that. We've seen Patterson drop a number of catches, but when he did get the 1 catch he has, well, took it to the house.
So first down, Olympians find themselves down early, 40 points to 7. Third quarter action here from Leeds in our final game of the Brit Bowl 31 weekend. Griffiths hands off to Owusu, and he's through and out for a 20-yard pickup, close to midfield.
Great running there, straight up the middle, carved his way through. I think he actually trips over himself, but yeah, big 20-yard gain, and that's just what the Olympians needed right now.
Hurdles out of a tackle really well during that run. So, first down, Olympians having made significant progress on the opening run of this drive. Griffiths and Owusu in the backfield. Griffiths throws to the right, and Kimmins makes the reception. Picks up 4 yards. Brought down inbounds.
Going back to that short passing game.
Been a little quiet on the old Twitter this afternoon, George. It'd be great to know if you're watching the stream and where you're watching from, and give us a message, and we'll try and give you a mention.
Would you like me to tweet in?
Yeah, go on, tweet in for me.
What's the hashtag? Oh, there we go. It's right at the screen.
Brit Bowl 31. Get in touch with us. Tell us how you're feeling, how your Sunday's going. As Griffiths hands off again up the middle to Owusu, and he's gone through that Titans defensive line again, and he's on his feet at the 30 and at the 20 and carrying Titans with him all the way down to the 20-yard line.
He's a real great mix of power and speed, and arguably I think the most balanced back we've seen of this weekend.
Not seen him catching out of the backfield as of yet.
No, not yet. But in terms of a pure runner, that size and speed balance, I think, is a good one.
So first down. Olympians just outside the red zone. I believe you may have missed the Bloomfield TD. Our boys down in the van will try and show you that as the Griffiths rolls to his right. He's under pressure and he throws the ball away, having rolled outside of the pocket. There will be no intentional grounding call for that one. The London Olympians, as we've tried to bring you some info about the Titans. The London Olympians are one of Britain's oldest American football clubs. Started life in 1983 as the Streatham Olympians. 2nd and 10, just outside the 20 for Griffiths in the offense. Hands off again to Owusu, same play up the middle and gains positive yardage. So yeah, the Streatham Olympians in 1983. Another the most successful club in the land. Olympians hold the record for the longest winning streak in senior kitted football, stretching from 1998 to 2004. Formed by a group of men who regularly worked out at the Olympians gym in Streatham, South London, hence the name. Seeing the game on TV. And in 1992, as imports began playing over in the UK, they signed former LSU Tigers QB Leonard Valentine. Griffiths back to pass again. There's pressure, there's a little screen pass, and he hits Owusu, and Owusu has enough for the first down.
Yeah, we just had some stats in for Owusu. Just before that, running for 114 yards so far on the day.
So a very well-established club who have been Euro Bowl champions in 93 and 94, and then runners-up in 95. British champions 92, 3 and 4. Runners-up in 86, 88, 91 and 95, and Amsterdam Bowl winners back in 1987.
Yeah, strong history for them. See what the future holds.
Loads more honours written down here on paper, and maybe a few more than we've got time to bring you this afternoon, but needless to say, a very successful club, and the ball is thrown out to the left. Ooh. And looks like it's going to be called incomplete.
Looking for Mackenzie there, number 84. Very nearly reeled it in.
So, 2nd and goal. The Olympians will be keen to get into double figures on the scoreboard at the start of this 3rd quarter. Still 10-20 left, but a 33-point deficit to overcome is maybe some would think a bit too much to ask, but it's got to start somewhere, and Griffiths rolls right, puts the ball into the end zone, but that also falls incomplete.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on him there, and he was hopping in the air when he released the ball.
So 3rd and goal upcoming. Be great if you could get in touch with us and tell us how you found the weekend. Obviously BAFA very pleased with it. I know Steve and Tom down for Onside are pleased with how things have gone. I'm looking for the nod of approval, but I think Nick Wilson Town, they've got the thumbs up, very pleased again from a double coverage perspective. Hands off this time to a new runner, number 49.
Adrian John.
And he gets close to the goal line to about the 1.
2nd carry of the game for him.
A bit more of a power back.
Yeah, big boy. See what they can do. Pretty confident they're going to be going for it on 4th.
So you've got to, well, they've got to go for it. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
Nothing to lose.
We've got a couple of tweets coming in. The next chapter. Come on, Olympians, go on,
Time
number
out.
6.
London Olympians, That's their first time out of the half.
We're counting on you.
Photo didn't come through. That's annoying.
What we got?
That's from me.
G. Lee's 31.
But
Walker living the life.
But there was a photo to go with
Was there?
and the boys haven't put it up.
I'm pleased about that.
You'd have liked it. It was a nice one. I edited Will Hobbs' face over it.
Did you?
No.
Watching the game before my night shift. Come on, O's. I don't need Cobham grumbling in my ear later. Well, I think unless things turn around rather quickly, that may be how things are going.
Yeah, the O's are clearly working on something. See if they've got a little special move of their own.
Fourth and goal, London Olympians trailing by 40 points to 7. I think for the neutral and for the game, it would be good to see the Olympians pierce.
Yeah, I don't think anyone particularly wants to see our blowout this weekend.
Unless you're wearing a blue jersey.
Well, yeah, unless you're wearing a blue jersey.
So here we go, fourth and goal. Griffiths rolls to the right, he's got a man, and it's caught,
he's dropped it.
In and out of the hands.
Yeah, looks like Kimmins, the intended receiver, and he is gutted. Look at him.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed by that. It's looking like we've got Amber ready to go on the sideline during this break in play.
Let's pass down to her for the first time in the second half then, Amber.
Hi, yeah, so definitely there's a different feel to the sideline in the second half. There's still excitement, but you've got a sense of frustration from the Olympians as they came in, obviously really wanting to try and turn around this second half and get some points on the board. Titans, however, definitely full of excitement, not getting complacent yet, but definitely you can see the jubilation setting in and just really rolling with it. Managed to catch the Titans head coach, the head coach when coming back out, and you can see there's that sort of sense of satisfaction when you put in the hard work, and finally, you know, it seems to be ever so slightly paying off, although that does seem slightly premature, but with the scores that are at the moment, it's looking good for the Titans. On the opposite side of the field, you know, baking in the sun, literally, and sweating away, you know, the Olympians seem to be struggling, and you can see that in the players. There's a sense of frustration there, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's all looking good on the blue side. Oh,
absolutely, and I think as we mentioned, and I think you'd agree, for the Olympians to have gone in there and put some points on the board, it may have juiced things up a little bit, but as such, as Bloomfield goes deep again, and he's got his man, he's got Kinder for another big gain.
Going back to the Titans' name, I think just to clarify, we call Luke Kinder, Adam Bamba, sorry, fresh, and number 7 is actually box. So there's a lot of names I've been told to tell you guys up there. I'm not sure you'll be able to keep up with them all, but definitely the Titans want to rely, and also quarterback Sam Bloomfield, or Bloomers, wants you guys to know that he's definitely got 5 touchdowns. So let's make a note of that, shall we?
I think that's already been noted. I wouldn't worry too much about that.
No worries. I think, like I said, definitely Titan sideline is full of excitement here.
We will go for as many nicknames as we can. We're writing them down as you speak.
We'll mix them up too.
Let's just not find one for me, will I?
We've already got a few.
Oh,
anyway, Bloomers completes to Bamba, and he's down off to the races at the 40-yard line. Picks up another Titans first down.
Flash, was it not?
Flash.
Was it not Bamba? Bamba's flash, number 6.
It was. Oh, was it flash or fresh? Well, that's failed already. Anyway, we mentioned earlier we've got some Division 2 playoff football going ahead today as well. We can bring you 4 results. Shropshire Revolution, 35-0 winners against the Gateshead Senators. Berkshire Renegades against the Bristol Apache, close one, 33-27. The Renegades come out on top of that. As Kinder rolls to the right. The Wembley Stallions victorious over the Portsmouth Dreadnoughts, 33-6. And finally, we brought you a current score earlier on, but the Glasgow Tigers victorious over the Leeds Bobcats by 38 points to 20. So two one-sided games there, and one close one.
There you
go.
That's that wonderful picture of Matt Walker.
Face for radio.
I'm not even sure it's a face for radio, to be honest.
Bloomers at quarterback still for the Titans as they look to add to their lead. Out to Kinder.
Couple of yards picked up there. Manchester very good at those little short screen and receivers turning and getting upfield.
Yeah.
Kinder actually very aware of the defence crashing down on him there.
And Bloomfield again, and he's looking over the top for Newton, and Newton attempts to stick out a hand and just off his fingertips.
Yeah, lovely ball, nice lead, just a touch too much. And there's that sidearm again.
3rd down Titans, 3rd and 4. As we watch the closing quarters of the 2017 Division 1 season. Premiership wrapped up yesterday, under-19 season wrapped up earlier on today as the Lions were victorious over the Caesars, as Bamber flicks one way and back on a reverse the other way to Newton. Newton turns the corner, and it's a good open field tackle by number 6 for the Olympians, Ashton Campbell, with the takedown. But I think Newton has got enough for a 1st down. And the chains continue to move.
Bloomfield trying to lead block there for his boy. Trying to make a cut block.
1st down, Titans, just outside the Olympians' 30-yard line. Kinder comes in to a very tight slot receiver, and Newton flashes across to the left. Bloomfield again looking to the air. They're not letting up, and the intended receiver is Newton, but that time Bloomers can't find him.
Looks like we've got an Olympians player down. Slight issue with his knee, but no, he is back up.
Not happy at all.
Yeah, he's not happy. It's 99 there for the Olympians, Remy Daniels. He's the sort of guy that you don't want to get mad, and the bonus for defensive linemen is, whilst yes, you can lose your head, you're fighting 2 guys and you keep fighting, that aggression can really help.
It'll be worth keeping an eye on that, because obviously the Titans sideline were feeding off that as well, and Newton, Daniels gets chopped again, but Newton with the carry, and he does get positive yardage, a pickup of 5 yards on 1st down, and yeah, you could see that Daniels was chopped again here. If you watched both 2 players going down towards Daniels' knees.
Clearly Daniels a man to watch out for, and someone that the Titans have probably looked at film and seen to do that too. Slow him down as he goes through the line.
And as we are currently speaking, Bloomers has 416 yards passing. Past the 400-yard mark this afternoon, and we've still got 5 minutes left in the 3rd period. Bamber in motion. Bloomers with 3 receivers to the right this time, and there's that counter play again. And the flag on the play, and the ball comes out, but the whistle's blown, and the play is blown dead.
Daniel's one of the men in that tackle.
Could well be in the vicinity of holding.
It looks like another Olympian is a little slow to get up, but he is up. That counter seems to be working quite well for the Titans running game.
Gridiron strong. We need Brit Bowls streamed each week.
Well, it'd be a lot of Brit Balls, that would.
Holding, 77 offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
I think we take that as a compliment, George, but I'm not sure we could sustain that. And I know probably Steve Matthews and Tom Howe will be very stressed very quickly, but nice to know that you're enjoying the stream.
Well, you see, I find this interesting. Those 2 are the most stressed, but we're the ones with no hair.
Adefemi Kitty 18, watching my boy Andy Owusu. Big hitters Olympians. Yeah, just on the wrong end of the scoreboard at the moment. Aaliyah, watching my first American football match. Team Owusu. Chris Anderson, great to see so many players from the Lancashire Wolverines Academy playing so well as Kinder
has caught the egg
and picks up first down yardage.
Courtesy of Jimmy, that Kinder egg joke.
Andrew Chapman at home in Manchester watching Brit Bowl 31. Jim this morning and watching my boy, AB 15 for the Titans. Bruno watching the Div 1 final. Great game. It's making me want to cancel retirement and suit up again next year. Go for it, Bruno. Why not? Andy Conroy watching from rehab. Watching from rehab from a stroke, Andy. Goodness. Wish you all the best. Cheers for the coverage. Make bank holiday weekend bearable. Oh, what a speedy recovery, Andy. That's a terrible, terrible thing to happen. My dad endured one of those a few years back, and it wasn't
personal foul. 78, blue. It's a 15-yard penalty. Still third down. Live ball foul.
Prince X Noir watching my boy Owusu. A lot of love for the Olympians running back there, Owusu, from on the Twitter feed.
Yeah, really talented running back. He's done a good job today. Not quite enough, but he's done a real good job.
So that flag is against the Titans, which will march them back and give the Olympians a little bit of respite. But I don't think it'll last for long.
This third quarter's been littered with penalties.
4:29 left in the third. And still we're not ready to play. So finally, it looks like play's getting back underway. Bloomers, two receivers either side again as Newton comes in motion. And I've got a good variety of plays in that Titan playbook. Takes a high snap. Under pressure this time, tucks the ball, kicks slides downfield, tries to hit Kinder.
That's going to be defensive player interference.
I think it is.
Pass interference, rather.
Ashton Campbell seems to be the guilty party on that, and I must say from where we were standing, it did seem to be. He did have a hand on the shoulder of Kinder. So from 3rd and 15, it looks like being a first down for the Titans.
Prior to the pass being thrown, we got a hold. Number 6, defense on an eligible receiver. That's a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So a hold on the play rather than a pass interference, but nevertheless it is still a first down. First down, Titans. Newton again in motion. Bloomers with 3 receivers to the left. Spotted something and he's hands the ball off again.
Good solid running again up the middle by number 26, Ryan Newton.
So 2nd and 4, Titans. There's the replay again. Just execute very well. Some great work by that Titan offensive line, opening gaps up. But to be fair, the runners have also picked the lanes very well. So 2nd down as we watch Bloomers roll to his left, put the ball up and over the top of his intended receivers. And from Bloomers on 3rd down, we can go down to Amber, who I believe is with Bloomers' parents.
Yes, I am. I'm with Jeff and Gail Bloomfield, who must be the proudest parents so far, because Sam, or Bloom as we like to call him, has 416 yards passing, 30 yards rushing, total of 5 touchdowns. He's had a phenomenal game. So, Gail, how are you feeling about your son's performance?
Oh, I couldn't be more proud. Absolutely wonderful. Fantastic game. I don't get to see him very often, but when I do, I'm amazed at his dedication and commitment to the Titans and the game.
We are too. He is definitely one of those players that just loves the game, loves his team, and gives it his all. Let's go back to Jeff. Dad, how are you feeling?
Very
proud of him as
Manchester
like
Titans. First time out.
He always steps up to the plate when needed. Very pleased for him.
And he's definitely stepped up to plate here. Seems to be one of those key playmakers of the Titan team, and just been phenomenal, and just really has been the lubricant to the force that has been the Titan offense today. So brilliant. And back to you.
Thanks, Amber. Lovely to see parents in the crowd supporting players from both sides. More on the Twitter feed. Caleb Jackson, tune into Britball 31 from Paris. Let's go, Titans. Chris Anderson getting a salt tweet read out on the live stream has made me feel better about all the fun the Titans are having.
Must be a Falcons fan.
Coach DeMonte, Britball 31, great weekend of football. Thank you for tuning in, and yes, it has been a fantastic weekend of football. Dan Ledwood, good to see the Northern teams rolling this weekend. Susanna Taylor, watching Britball 31 from my sofa.
So actually, just mentioning Falcons, actually, just the semi-final between the Titans and Falcons, I think, was a very hotly contested game. A single score, was it?
27-21 Manchester, yeah.
Manchester doing very well. Falcons have some serious playmakers on that squad. Taylor Brown being one of them, the safety.
And there's that reverse again, but now there is a flag on the far side, and it is Bamba with that reverse again. See what the penalty is. Synergy Chester, loving the coverage, not as tense as yesterday's game, but great to see some Northern domination. Matt Charlton, watching my mate Chaz Dixon, number 99 Titans. Great game and great stream. Thanks very much, Matt.
Illegal shift. 2 men moving at the snap. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So many motions the Titans have got and the amount of movement they do have. So I'm surprised they've been called on that. So the offense staying relatively disciplined throughout this game.
Rachel Matanmi, really enjoying the coverage. Shout out Manchester Titans, especially VGRI1. Come on, Titans. 4th down, Manchester. 4th and 9, maybe a long 8. 3 receivers to the left. Bloomers drops back, looks left again. He's got his man in the seam, and the ball is caught but ripped out. Great defensive effort there by number 54.
Yeah, looks like number 54. That would be Jonathan Cobham coming in as a linebacker and just tearing that ball out.
And it's a turnover on downs, and the Olympians will get a chance with 3.5 left in this 3rd quarter to see if they can make an impact and any dent on this 33-point
The initial grab
Titans
by
lead.
Slade looked good in double coverage, and then, as we just said, Cobham coming across and ripping that ball out.
So keep those tweets coming in, hashtag Britball31. It's great to know that people are watching and that you're enjoying not only the game, but enjoying what we do here at Onside Productions. Thanks to Nick Wilson-Town at double coverage and all his staff here today. Martin Cockrell, Russ Hewitt and all the BAFA guys who have put this on. Great, good catch from Kimmins before he's upended for a gain of 3. Obviously the officials who have made their way out today, Kavanagh and his team of officials from BAFRA. All the parents and supporters making their way on the short journey from Manchester and the longer journey from London. Maybe, as people said, not quite the exciting game that we had yesterday, but...
No, I think the close games are always exciting. There goes that man, and oh, you heard that thud.
And he heard that thud. And he takes the thud, but he picks up 1st down.
Yeah, another good run by Owusi.
So a worthwhile thud.
Manchester have made a number of big hits throughout this game, actually. Particularly on that running back, obviously forcing a fumble earlier on in the game.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Oh my goodness, it's going faster.
So at the end of the third quarter here in Leeds, score is as it has been for much of the third quarter. Manchester Titans 40, the London Olympians 7. So George, as we've got this short break between quarters while they move the chains and switch ends, I think it's worthwhile saying I know we're working on behalf of BAFA and with double coverage today, but I think for Steve, Tom, Alex, and yourself and I,
and the rest of the guys,
and the rest of the camera, we've got
roped
obviously
in some camera boys.
We've got Matt here who's done a great job all weekend.
Well, we say that. I mean, he's done all right.
Well, he's done a job, I suppose. Yeah, he's done a job. First down, Olympians. Griffiths to the outside. And unfortunately, I think that's Patterson again who's let that ball slip through his fingers.
I think, to be fair, that took a deflection off one of the Titans DBs that came across the field there.
So I say, George, we've had a really enjoyable season. I know you've been committed as well to the junior Caesars, but Onside Productions came out as a result of Caesars TV, which Steve Matthews was responsible for, and Steve, a former Caesars player who works in media, and decided to start streaming just over 2 years ago now. And in those 2 years, we've gone from a pretty limited operation as Owusu gets the ball and runs up the middle and met by 4 Titans. So yeah, from a relatively minor operation, running out of a van in the depth of Nottingham, South Glades Stadium.
To running out of a van here at Leeds.
But the technology that we've employed since then, and the size of the operation, I think the product that Steve and Tom particularly put together, I think we've come a long way, and it's been a real pleasure being able to cover the Caesars games, but also the Great Britain women against Spain that we did last September, the Uniball finals that you and I covered with Onside Productions.
Well, it looks like, sorry to interrupt you, Matt, it looks like they've called a medic in. One of the Titans boys, I think, is down.
So yeah, and I know that Steve and Tom and the boys are looking to go from strength to strength next season and expand what we do and try and make our operation as professional as we can. We really appreciate all the feedback we get, negative or otherwise.
We're always professional, aren't we?
We attempt to be, yes.
Some more than others.
Yes, some more than others indeed. But I think it's been pretty well received by the Brickball community and BAFA.
Yeah, you know, obviously we enjoy doing this, but I think we're all in this to try and grow the game together as a community, and the support from you guys at home or wherever you are in the world is greatly appreciated. And you know, share away. Get those that aren't in the sport to have a click and have a look at some of the stuff we do.
So have a look on go on YouTube and go into double coverage, and you'll find this weekend's games there amongst others. If you go on to Onside Productions, as the ball's fumbled, I think Owusu has managed to drop on that.
Owusu's dropped on that.
Yeah, if you go onto YouTube and go to Onside Productions, you'll be able to see some of the stuff we've been doing as well, and then Caesars TV as well, where we've been working for much of this season with the Nottingham Caesars, as that's where a lot of us have our roots.
For all your live stream football fans.
So at this point, as the Olympians come out to punt, we'll pop back down to Amber, who I believe is with Adam Bamber's parents. Amber?
Yes, I'm down here with Adam Bamber's parents, or Fresh as we like to call him. Just to give you some of his stats, he has 6 receptions, 204 yards, with a total of 2 touchdowns, and he's done phenomenally well. And then with his dad, how are you finding the game watching your son?
It's really exciting. He's doing really well. I'm just amazed at how fast he can actually run.
It is phenomenal. Some of these guys' fitness levels are incredible, and it's just a joy to watch, especially as a parent. And with his mum now, how are you finding the game?
It's just fantastic. I'm just really proud. They're all doing really, really well. It's looking promising. It's great.
And is this little brother here as well? Do you have anything to say? Come on, cheer us on. Oh, he's gone quiet, he's a bit shy, but definitely there's so much excitement here in the stands from the family, and you know, Adam's doing incredible, as are the Titans, and it's looking good for them.
Some great offensive production. You're quite right, Amber, all afternoon, and great numbers for Fresh and for Bloomers. all across the park. Shout out to my nephew, Ben Walker. Sounding good, uncle of mine. Nice to know you're listening in, Ben. Sam R.J. Kinley, what a great advert for the UK game this weekend has been, and I think we all agree with that.
Sorry, that was Pangago there with the run up the middle, or Pangoago.
TWM Owen, more great live Britball coverage from We Are Onside. Gutted for the Olympians though. Yeah, well, we hope for a bit of a closer game, but take nothing away from the Titans. Rachel Mantanli, really enjoying the coverage. We've mentioned that already, but nice to hear from Rachel again. If you search the hashtag BritBowl31, and then send us a message on there, we'll end up giving you a message out there as Bloomers looks.
Kinder, number 3.
Ball just eludes him, flying past his fingertips. There's a replay, you can see that that one-on-one coverage down the sideline. Bloomers likes to roll to his right, set his feet, and then try and hit his man deep.
Yeah, Kinder and Bamba, seriously quick guys. Just getting around the coverage. We've obviously got Slade down here on the bottom of your screen in press coverage. Very strong receiver.
So Bamba this time, sorry, Bloomers rolls left this time and then looks for that. That's a fumble. Is that? No, it's going to be classed as an incomplete forward pass, which will bring up 3rd and 10.
So you've got around about 13 minutes left of the game. I think for the Olympians, they'll just be looking to get another score, make this score a little bit more respectable.
So 3rd and 10, 3 receivers to the right. And the crowd now, as this game, as sorry as it is to say, this game appears to be over as a contest at this point. The crowd are attempting a good old-fashioned Mexican wave.
It's not going over. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's not too bad.
That's pretty good.
Why didn't you join it? You've ruined it.
Daniel in 3105, enjoying watching the Titans, killing it today. The atmosphere is brilliant. Love hashtag O-line linebacker from the Humber Warhawks. Punt up. And the Olympians will take over yet again, but at their 20-yard line to see if they can be any more successful than they have been so far in this second half.
I think here, you know, you're 33 points down. I think they've probably got to the point where they think they can't get back into this. It's possible. Stranger things have happened, absolutely, but I think from an offensive coordinator's perspective, you just want to start moving that ball, see what your boys can do, moving up the field.
I think, like you say now, I mean, this stranger things have happened, but it will be remarkable the way that this game has gone. I think what you've got to try and do now, if you're Coach Edwards over on the Olympian sideline, is try and just get something positive from this. The game and the title may have gone, but as you said at the beginning, it's taking it as a first game in the Premiership.
Yeah.
And see what you can get out as number 26 this time. 26? 36, George. Number 36 for the Olympians.
Biamoko again. I think Manchester over the last few years have been sort of the Premiership team that never quite made it to the Premiership. And I think this year they've proven that they are that calibre, or you know, certainly deserve to be there with a 9-1 record. And
absolutely,
obviously, you know, huge scoreline here today. So it'll be interesting to see how they do compete against the likes of former rivals Merseyside. Obviously fairly local rivals as well here.
Second down. Oh, Griffiths, tough pass. I think the catch is incomplete. Michelle Walker at Corio Shell. That'll be my sister then.
Would it?
Enjoying the coverage, sat in the sun. And I need to say hello to my niece Liv as well, who's I know is listening, watching. Nice to know the family are watching. Third down, 3rd and 6 for the Olympians. 11:37 left in the 4th quarter. And a little bit of trickery as the Olympians come up with a big play from number 30. And Falani gets across midfield, out over the 40-yard line and into Titans territory at about the 39.
Yeah, it looks like it was McNally there with the covering tackle for the Titans. He's trekked across from the other side of the field to make that hit.
Nick Thompson at Brit Jock. Super impressed with these broadcasts this weekend. I'd love to see it grow. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much for your kind words. We're doing our best, and all this positive encouragement spurs us on. 4 receivers now for the Olympians. Ball through. Oh, it is intercepted. And that's number 20.
It was McNally.
Dave McAnally all the way down the right sideline, the far sideline, to plunge a dagger way deep into the Olympians' hearts.
And what a fantastic grab.
One-handed.
Yeah, talk about looking it in with your eyes as well. I mean, that's...
And there's that replay, just caught the back end of it and the trundle in, and that may well see the mercy rule being employed.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's a tough grab, actually. It's a tough ask as a cornerback myself. You see green grass. I mean, I can't catch.
There it is.
There you go. Look at that.
Great concentration, as you said.
He was thinking about the ball first, then headed straight into the end zone. He knew what he was doing.
Adam Pearson, 89. Great job from the Titans O-line. Know firsthand how much of a handful that Olympians D-line can be.
Yeah, as you've just said, as far as we're aware now, we will be in the rolling clock following the mercy rule.
We'll try and get some confirmation of that, but I'm being nodded at to suggest that is what's going to happen, and therefore the mercy rule comes in to try and limit, I suppose, the embarrassment factor and any injuries, but the extra point is no good there from the Titans. So obviously, as players become more and more tired and try and make plays, the risk of injury is increased.
You look down on the sideline and there's far more Titans down there than there are Olympians. I don't think the Olympians have travelled with a full squad. I'm not quite sure what head coach said, but it may appear so. But
I think he mentioned they were pretty close to it. Simon Mack. First the Knicks, now the Titans. The North has risen.
Yeah, the only time this mercy clock will stop is for a timeout, or if the officials decide to stop it.
Sure. Other than that, this play clock will run and run.
Incomplete passes do nothing.
So as a result,
we'll
this last 10-20 of the game, 10 minutes 20 of the game, will really rattle by now. So we are going to bring you a pre-game show. We're going to try and get interviews. We'll definitely get interviews, I would have thought, with the winning Titans staff. I could quite understand if the Olympians would prefer to stay away, but I also know we're going to catch up with Martin Cockrell from BAFA.
Number 82 on the return at
Patterson.
Looks like there was a flag thrown.
So yeah, stay tuned afterwards. Bring your interviews, reaction, celebration from this Division 1 championship.
Personal foul, face mask. Return team number 18. 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. First down.
I believe prior to the Olympians taking the field for the first down, Amber's with Martin Cockrell, who I mentioned a minute ago.
Yes, I am with Martin here. And Martin, just explain to everyone who doesn't quite know what's going on.
Well, within the rules, when there's a point differential of 35 points or more, we go to a running clock. So this has been the first national final we've had since the implementation of that rule, where we've actually had to go to a running clock because of the score difference that's going on.
So first time it's ever happened in the history of this being implemented. What's that say about the Titans?
Well, it's the first time in a national final. There's quite a few games in the domestic season that get it, but it just shows how strong the Titans are. We were expecting a much closer game coming into this, and actually the Titans have just stamped their authority on it and just run over everything that's come towards them.
They have indeed. So you said expected a closer game. Do you think that's just the Titans upping their standard, or do you think that maybe the Olympians were a bit unnerved coming in?
Well, looking at the Olympians' running game is really good. They've got a lot of power there. The problem is they're having to keep going to it because their passing games really let them down in this, which means they become one-dimensional. And the Titans then can capitalise on that because they know they've got to play against the running game, and then they can shut that down. It's a bit disappointing, but it just shows the strength and the depth that the Titans have got on their roster, and they're the real deal, and they should have a good season in the Premiership next year.
They should indeed, and for those of you who don't know, the Titans have been promoted, so looking forward to watching them really take that next step.
That's blinking at the moment.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Amber.
Can I get it to...
So, I'm afraid...
blinking green.
Hearing a little bit of jeering from the crowd, and I think as a young man in the crowd who I won't draw attention to his name, but has been quite vocal on the Titans sideline, and a lot of the crowd are now expressing their displeasure at him with a chant. You hope that you would be have some high class, particularly when you are putting another team to the sword as the Titans are doing at the moment.
Looks like the Olympians are just coming out after a long discussion.
So, 1st and 10, London Olympians on their own 28-yard line. 9:33 left, but that clock will just run away now that we're in this mercy ruling. Griffiths passes, and now, as Martin Cocker alluded to, they're just missing the target then. Jordan McKenzie, the intended receiver on that one. Beautiful stadium here, George. I think nice to play in.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I've been here too many times. I'd rather be down in Worcester, as you know. But
I know.
No, it's a nice stadium.
Just looking where we are now, the skyline, the Leeds skyline off to the left. It's
the surface down there is pretty good as well. Obviously, Worcester's a 4G pitch. This is grass. But it's a nice stadium to play in.
Griffiths again, 2nd down. He hits the receiver this time, and
there you go.
And he's off to the races. Number 84, Jordan McKenzie. Little highlight there, and a little ray of sunshine for the Olympians. No flags on the play, and that will be a 70-yard score, catch and run for Jordan McKenzie, and accelerating away from that Titans defence.
And that's what they're capable of, and they've been lacking that all day. They've been dropping the catches, but there you have it. He's caught that ball, and that sheer athleticism that they have, that speed that they've got, just to hit it home.
So Amber's got somebody else on that Titan sideline. Who have you got for us now, Amber?
Well, speaking of flags, I'm here with the flag captain of the Titans flag team here. Rich, can you just explain what's happened now that since the Olympians have scored?
Yeah, so basically when there's a 35-point difference, there's a rolling clock. So because they've shrunk that to 33 points now, it means that the clock is now going to run pro. So, yeah.
That's correct. So can you just say what this really means for the Titans? I think that they've still got a strong lead, haven't they? But it's nice for the Olympians to really be closing in.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly expected to come into a tight game here to play against the Olympians in the national final. But for the Titans here, we spent a long time building this team, and for us it's kind of a dream come true essentially to be in a national final. Yeah.
It is a good dream come true, and you can tell with all the players on the sideline there's genuine just so much excitement and thrill about being here, and you're definitely enjoying that too, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Loving the atmosphere of being here on the sideline with these guys. They've absolutely brought their A game today and absolutely balled out, so it's been great to be part of that experience. Absolutely loved every minute of it.
And we're enjoying watching. It's a fantastic game, and let's see where it goes from here.
Amber, just while I've got you on there, we obviously with that Olympian score, up here in the commentary booth, we seem to suspect that the clock will go back to a pro clock. Is that right?
That is correct. It will go back to a pro clock.
So,
I can go across to Martin now, and we can get him to explain what this means in terms of BAFA rules.
So the Olympians extending the game as well as putting a little more points on the board, and a few more.
So I'm back here with Martin just to chime in there, sorry about that. So can you just explain more about the rules of this, going back to the pro clock, Martin?
Yeah, because the Olympians have put that fantastic score on the board, the points difference was reduced, so it's no longer a 35-point difference. So that means we revert back to a standard clock. So we had, on that play there, it was 9 minutes, 5 seconds on a standard clock now. So hopefully this is a bit of a resurgence from the Olympians, and maybe they can pull some stuff back.
So we're definitely making history with this in the first time it's gone to a rolling clock and then back again, aren't we?
Certainly at a national level, yeah, for the national finals.
Well, there you go, Titans making more mini history in this national final Division 1.
Thanks, Amber. And I think all it can be is just good for this game this afternoon to see a little bit of a resurgence from the Olympians, and for those guys as well, travelling all the way up here. It's nice to get a couple of scores on the board, even if it is still going to be in a losing effort. So Bloomers again, 2 receivers, 3 receivers now with that man in motion, and the ball comes out to Kinder on the right-hand side, and Kinder makes one man miss, makes a second man miss, and picks up a first down for the Titans.
Yeah, Kinder's certainly a slippery character.
So first down Manchester on their own 40-yard line, 8:45 left. Bloomers this time with 3 receivers to his left. Looks like Fatneck in the backfield, and indeed Fatneck gets the carry. Bounced off to the right-hand side.
Got a little bit of space there as well. Little 5-yard gain. See what the Titans can bring.
So, sort of starting to sum up the weekend. Yesterday, I've never experienced a day of British football like it. Both from the under-19 level and with the Phoenix topping the Blitz. The crowd were incredible as well, and as Martin Cockerell's alluded to, a record crowd for a Brit Bowl, a record gate as well, as Bloomers rolls to his left.
I think that's really good for the game.
And it's picked off. And a bit more positivity.
Rory Golding, and he's
at the 15, he's at the 10, he's close to scoring. Touchdown. Oh, I think he may have stepped out of bounds. He may have stepped out of bounds and there wasn't a defender near him, but now the signal is touchdown Olympians.
Now if they are unsure, obviously the officials can go to a replay.
Let's have a look at our replay up here first, see if we can help the officials out at all.
That was Rory Golding with the interception. What a great play.
And here we go, so he takes off and he manages to get away from Bloomers, and I can't overly see he's going. No, I think
he's in. I think he's in.
It would appear that there is green between his boot and the sideline, and the officials are not contesting this. I don't know whether Manchester will contest it, although
Manchester
they haven't.
They've
already had their challenge for the afternoon. So, as the officials have called it a score, that remains a score.
Stranger things have happened.
46-21, 7 minutes 20 to go. You can imagine, though, again, Manchester aren't going to go conservative. They're going to come out. And
no,
they're going to.
Well, 4 points away from a 50 burger in a national final.
And while ever the Titans do play that style of football, there will be opportunities like that.
There will, absolutely. But this, you know, like I said earlier, stranger things can happen. Do you know, they've got your count on today. Still on his feet.
Have they?
Have you seen that flash up today?
No.
You were on 6, and that was in about the first quarter.
Does that come up already?
It's come up today, yeah. I don't know what you're on now. You must have said it a few times.
You do know that's the name of my fantasy football team for this year, don't you?
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've not signed up for the league yet.
No, I know you haven't. Pull your finger out. We're drafting on Wednesday night.
Oh, it's all right. I'll get auto-drafting off still.
Oh, brilliant, yeah. But just like your team you follow in the NFL, just like the Rams. Well, there we go. There's the count. Still on his feet. I'm up to 6. I've got to make 10 in a national final.
Well, you've just said 1.
Is it not going to be in game context?
I don't know.
So here come the Olympians.
I think I'm just about still on my feet, and I'm sat down.
Here come the London Olympians for the 2-point conversion to bring the score back to 46-23. 23-point deficit. And they do manage to make that conversion. Number 36 piles into the end zone, Amoko. And yeah,
this is nice to see. Even if they don't get the win, it's a spirited comeback, and they've had a couple nice plays now. And it's nice to see not a single score.
And if they do end up on the wrong side of this title this afternoon, which they more than likely will, they lost it in the first half, and they've come out fighting, like you said, in the second half, and can take something into the 2018 season from this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've got to be happy with the way certainly the last 5 minutes have gone.
So 7:22 left in the Division 1 final. Yeah, so sum up the weekend. As before that pick went off, we've seen some incredible stuff. The crowd were fantastic yesterday. The support from I love the way the junior players, particularly the Pirates from East Kilbride, stayed and watched some of the game. The Phoenix players arrived early and watched.
Well, the Blitz actually stayed and watched the full game.
Well, they did, obviously. Yeah, they did.
Coach Henry was adamant about supporting the senior outfit.
Just a fantastic advert across. And this, even though it's a bit one-sided, there have been points, there have been big plays, and the onside kick, and it is fumbled, but it is dropped on by Ryan Newton, number 26.
You have to feel for some of the teams, obviously. I mean, the travel side of things, particularly the East Kilbride juniors. I mean, that is a trek.
I've asked you this before. Would you rather get to a national final and lose by 4 points, or would you rather lose by 23 points?
It hurts either way.
Yeah.
A loss is a loss, but I think I'd rather lose by, a single point than 20 points because it's less embarrassing, I suppose, from my perspective. But every coach is going to have their own perspective on that.
My feeling is,
a loss is a loss.
A loss is a loss, but my personal perspective is, if you've competed and you've kept that competition close, I think you can then go away and hold your heads up high. As Newton again,
just dragged down, and it looks like Golding that made the tackle.
Big yardage on first down yet again.
Yeah, it was Golding that made the tackle there.
And with the success of the running game from the Titans, as well as the ball through the air, you imagine they're going to rely heavily on that. Fuego.
That's one of my boys.
Yeah.
Luca
With the game like this, it seems right to inform the viewers that George Lees is single and ready to mingle. As that ball falls incomplete.
Well,
that's Natal.
Is it Natal or is it Luca?
It's LM Natal. It's,
LM.
LM.
That would be Luca. It's nice to know that my boys are looking out for me.
Susanna Taylor again. Congrats again to Yorkshire Rams for winning the BAFA official John Slavin Award for game day management. Congratulations. The John Slavin Award is an award given out each and every year for not only condition of the pitch, but
every other year.
Every other year. It is biennial. You're quite right. Every other year for the condition of the field, but also for the game day experience, hospitality, etc., when teams travel around the country. So the Yorkshire Rams have won the Division 1 crown.
And the East Kilbride won it for the Premiership and the
under-19s. They did.
And I have to say, actually, travelling up to East Kilbride, I don't want to call anyone out because I think, within reason, most of the teams we went to were very, very nice. But East Kilbride in particular were the best club by a long shot at being hosts. They were absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. John Curran, amazing seeing the Olympians in the final considering the time they've had to develop and build. And that is a fair point.
Oh, and that looks... Newton is slow to get up. He is up. It's a thunderous hit from the Olympians 43, Nana Pratt.
Bruin White. If it was just the London Olympian, he'd be still on his feet.
Is that a riddle or?
Not quite sure, but at least it means I've got another one in. So 6:29 left in the fourth. The pro clock back with us rather than the mercy clock, and we can go down to Amber yet again.
Yes, you can. Talking about fans here, we've got a lot of noise still, people with a lot of sore throats, and I'd just like to say a special shout out to James Slack, who's watching from far and away somewhere in the middle of Germany. But yeah, so we've got Titan fans from all around Europe, the rest of the world, but there's one stood here right now who is an under-19s and who knows what it's like to both have the success of a Titan win and the loss. So Lewis, how are you feeling?
It's been a great game, offensively and defensively. We just balled out. Yeah. Shout out to the offensive line. Big men don't get enough love, but they've really showed up today. You know what I'm saying? So.
And how have you found it in the stand today? I mean, you've been running up and down here, following that line of scrimmage. How's it been?
Energy's been great. You know, fans are getting into it. You can visibly see that everyone's, everyone wants to get behind the team, and it's great to see.
And do you have anything to say to maybe the Olympian fans who are here? You know, there's some camaraderie in the stands for them as well.
I'm sorry. Have a beer, might make you feel better, but like that, I don't know what to say. Like that was painful.
Yeah, so I think drinks all around. We're happy for both teams here, but maybe some might be needing to drown their sorrows a bit more than others.
Wise words and very diplomatic from that particular
Titans fan.
Just going back
to the moment about big men get no love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely. I'll say a shout out to those big men who don't.
Well, can we get some love for the commentators?
Oh, it's another interception. Sorry, just to interrupt you, George. I know you're trying to give us some love, but number 7, Dabengwa has intercepted Bloomers, and this time taking it back to the 40.
And as you rightly said
yes,
before,
Amber.
those.
Yeah, big man. You're right.
You know what? I'll shout out to you guys. A special thank you to the commentators here and everyone at Double Coverage and people putting in the effort that don't get that recognition. Big love to you guys, and I get a salute from you, as I can see from the corner of my eye. Thank you.
But it's all well and good us calling out Bloomers and Kinder and Fatneck and all these guys, but as Tom Howe and Alex and the cameramen and Steve Matthews are for us, they're the engine room of what we do, and obviously the O-line, the D-line, the engine room for the success that these teams have on the field. And it is difficult to call out names and numbers. Obviously, we're focusing on the ball rather than the intricacies of the blocking schemes. But yeah, this game is all about the won and loss in the trenches.
It's true, and I'd like to say that grassroots level American football is a lot of people putting in a lot of passion, not getting paid for it, not getting as much recognition as they all deserve. But it is just testament to the love of the game when people do that.
Sorry to
absolutely.
There's a picture just popped up on the screen.
If you can't see this, Amber, but I don't know if you were here earlier on for the under-19s game, but my colleague here, Coach Lees, was the head coach of the Nottingham Caesars, and no other. It's intercepted again. Picked off yet again. Another interception for Manchester.
You can see the Titans here clapping away.
Yeah, so
number 5 with the interception there. Looks like Dave Barnett.
His nickname must be something to do with hair, isn't it? Dave Barnett? No?
You know what I was going to say? I have no idea who that is. Maybe I need to look at his nickname. Absolutely no idea. To say I'm supposed to be a Titan, just give me the nicknames. I have no clue.
So yeah, earlier on, our junior head coach at the Caesars is a little unorthodox in a lot of the stuff he does with the team, and he's the only coach all weekend, or indeed all season now, I've seen brandishing a brolly to keep there as he's back on screen again.
Umbrella, and let me explain that, right?
You don't need
Please
to.
Please do, and to other people who don't understand.
Hashtag Wally with the brolly.
Very, very fair-skinned, and I burn very easily. And about 12 months ago, I burnt in 8 degrees, and since then, I've carried a brolly, courtesy of Gemma Martin, our team manager, and I have not burnt today.
I'm very happy to hear you've not burnt. You've also been sheltered by the stand, unlike the Olympians, who are sweating away on the other side of the field.
Can you hear that? The world's smallest violin.
Oh, was that what that was supposed to be? I was definitely confused. See,
anyway,
without the hand gestures, we have no clue.
Well, the hand gestures usually do help. But anyway, moving on.
Moving back
First
to the
down, Manchester. First down, Manchester after that most recent interception, 6 minutes and 8.
Yeah, one interception, and then for the Olympians throwing it right back to Dave Barnett. I have to say, Barnett looking that ball in really well. Looked like the intended receiver was 84, Mackenzie, who didn't quite get a clean grab on it, and it bobbled up for the Titans defensive back to intercept the ball.
I'm not sure whether or not these are, and again, it's a little late now after that latest interception, but it could be argued that Griffith is doing similar. But some tweets coming in about whether or Bloomers is bottling it a little bit now with these recent interceptions, but I don't think bottling it is necessarily the case. I think just trying to get that 50 burger, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was Fatneck.
Coming in from at Jimmy Smith 83 in reply to Fuego. Maybe George could have a chat with Amber. George Lees is single and ready to mingle. I don't know who that's coming in from, but there we go.
I am getting burnt here today, but it's not by the sun. No offence, Sam, but please don't take offence to that.
2nd and 8, Manchester. After that run up the middle, and Fatneck gets the ball again, bounces to the left off tackle, and Daniels brings him down for a 4-yard pickup to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, I think out of all the backs, and I know it's been a constant theme, Pangago's really been the biggest of the big. He's a big boy, but he can move as well. He can shift through the gears. He's not the quickest, but give him an inch and a bit more, and he'll get there.
So I must say, from what was a rather deflating 3rd quarter, the 4th quarter has been somewhat more entertaining. Picture just flashed up on the screen there. Didn't manage to catch what that was entirely.
The Yorkshire Rams.
Oh, there's a fumble again.
Yeah, Bamba quick on that.
So Fresh does manage to fall on that and avert disaster, but that will bring up 4th and 11. And still, here we go again, look, and a high snap, and it is, I've noticed that, the way that they try and do that jet sweep, rather than handing the ball off, it's a pitch.
Pop,
yeah, and that can be dangerous, and they've executed well so far today, but in that occasion, slight miscalculation, and Bamba does well to
so that will
fall on the
them
fumble.
At 4 and 12, and yes, we have just had a picture sent in from the Yorkshire Rams.
It won't be 4th and 12, I'm afraid, just to interrupt you, because obviously that was classed as a forward pass, and therefore was classed as an incomplete pass, and therefore 4th and 4.
Fair enough. Well spotted.
But 4th and 4 anyway, and the punt goes up, and the Olympians field the ball and fumble the ball at their 10. And number 1, Sandom, picks the ball up and gets back out to about the 20, and the Olympians will have another crack with 4 minutes remaining to maybe bring this back to a 16-point game.
Yeah, the picture that keeps flashing up on your screens is of the Yorkshire Rams receiving their award.
The John Slavin Award.
The John Slavin Award for Division 1. Obviously, Yorkshire Rams, this is their home field here at Leeds.
John Slavin, incidentally, was an old official who passed away and had the award named after him. And as you were saying, George, yeah, the Yorkshire Rams, this is their home stadium. So we're privileged to be playing today's bowl games at what has been voted as the top place to play in Division 1.
I don't know if you saw that, but it looked to me like a little gif of the longest yard film there.
I didn't see that, no.
Getting some very interesting tweets coming in this afternoon. None offering me dinner and some wine, though.
Let's get back onto the tweets. To the commentators, would you rather fight 100 fat neck-sized ducks or 1 duck-sized fat neck?
I'm scared of birds, to be honest. I would rather fight a lot of fat necks.
Coach DeMonte, a loss is a loss in response to our earlier conversation as Griffiths tries to force the ball out.
Sorry to interrupt you. I don't think he's quite grabbed the ball there. Number 1 batting over Sandholm.
That fell short. So yeah, Phil DeMont, a loss is a loss. Either hurts until the start of next season. You're quite right, and a loss is a loss.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, as a coach, you do need to try and take whatever positive you can out of every game. And as much as a loss is a loss, you learn from those losses and move on. But yeah, you're quite right, Coach. Lancashire Wolverines, superb coverage all weekend. Thank you very much, boys and girls up at...
Yeah, I'm going to say, can shout out for some girl love there as well.
Oh, good. I tell you what, you're like my wife. You're always listening. Goodness me.
Oh, and hang on, here we go. There's Patterson.
No, not Patterson.
Sorry, Mackenzie.
It's Mackenzie again. Sorry, Amber, go on.
I say, I'm like your wife, always listening. I think that means someone's being attentive, doesn't it?
It does, always
it does.
attentive.
Please, let's not be negative about that. And you know what? I haven't had dinner and wine invitations on Twitter either, so I think maybe all commentators need love down here.
we are still to come to you.
I'm sure we can arrange that, Amber.
Thank you.
Take you for dinner after the game.
I'll be expecting
Who have you got sat next to you there, Amber, number 3?
We've got Kinder sat next to me. I'm afraid I'm not allowed to interview him. It's against the rules.
Oh, okay.
But he's not got a Kinder surprise for you.
Oh, too easy. Too easy. First down. Sorry, Amber. First down, Olympians on the 35-yard line. Griffiths under pressure again. He rolls to his right, and he throws that ball again in the direction of Sandholm.
I have to say, and I know we've got our stat guys around, there's been a lot of pressure on... To be fair, you know, I know Bloomfield rolls out, obviously, but there's been a lot of pressure on both quarterbacks. I'd be interested to know how many sacks there were, because I don't think I've seen one yet.
Oh, I don't recall that either, no, absolutely.
I'll third that.
Oh, And Amber's still with us. Amber, why
I'll
don't you
I'll go away now.
Come and join us up here for
You know what?
5
I will.
minutes.
I'll come find you.
So, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Olympians hoping to get a consolation score at the back end of this Division 1 championship. As Amber makes her way across the running track with a big smile on her face. Griffiths this time, hands up, hands
that
off.
was really well eaten up by the defensive interior. Looks like 99 for the Titans, the first man there. Dixon Charlie followed up by 94.
Or maybe Charlie Dixon and Kate Makin.
Dixon. I read the right. Oh,
it's been a long weekend, George.
It
hasn't
has been a long weekend.
weekend.
You're right, but that was great interior pressure there.
Brings up third
from
and
Charlie Dixon.
Brings up 3rd and 17 for the Olympians. 2:50 left. And it appears the clock's going up rather than down, so we've now got 3 minutes left. Thank you, Jimmy Smith. George, stand up. So, 3rd and 17, maybe 16 for the Olympians. Under massive pressure again. A little screen pass this time to number 21 for the Olympians.
Yeah, not really gone anywhere for them though.
Gay Mustafa Gay. I've gone the same way as you have. You're right, it's kind of difficult when you've got one roster with first name then surname, another roster surname then first name. But
we should say to the guys at home that, I mean, these guys down here, the tech guys, they started Friday and they were up early the next day.
Absolutely. Didn't leave Worcester, these guys, all the Steve and Alex and all the Canberra crew and Tom, and then didn't leave, well, got to Worcester early on Friday, or late on Friday. Didn't leave till late last night, got back to Nottingham around 1 AM and we're back here at 7 AM this morning. So yeah, all credit to those guys. Credit to DC and all their staff, and credit to Amber, who has been an absolute treasure, I think is the right word, with her comment and interventions and her attentiveness all afternoon.
And her ability to shake me off.
So, 4th and 15. There is a pickup of around about 9 yards on that play, but that will be a turnover on downs. Natal's back on it. George Lee, scared of birds, explains it all, really. Undateables, hashtag undateables.
I am. I've come with an umbrella, and I've not been burnt by the sun. But the guys around me have absolutely torn shreds. I'm not crying, my voice is going.
You see, the problem stems back to earlier in the season at Caesars Games, where you tried to use this stream as your own personal dating service, and it
worked. It worked.
No,
it did once.
Completely unacceptable. And Amber has joined us now in the commentary booth. Good evening.
I'm going to say I didn't know whether to comment on the fact you were trying to get some dates out of this gig here.
I didn't even start this.
Let's just leave it to the football, really.
That's the only reason you're here, George, isn't it, the football? Well, he played DB for so long, he's used to getting toasted.
Do you know, in 4 years?
Yep.
No, I'm not going to say it because you'll roast me again.
You know I'll come back with something else.
Yeah,
you know.
So genuinely, I only allowed one reception.
You did.
Don't. I know there was an easy comeback there, but
no, I've got one. I'm ready. I'm just waiting for you to shut up.
No, I appreciate you not saying it. Thank you.
So, victory formation for the Titans with the score at 46-23. The clock runs down from 1 minute 42. And it would appear...
They are celebrating, but...
Oh, no, I think it's because number 12 is being subbed in. A story on number 12 at all there, Amber?
Who's number 12, sorry, you saying?
We don't appear to have a 12 on the roster, but it seemed to get a real big ovation as he took the field, and he's obviously taking the...
I'm about to say, I don't know who it is. Let me just try and spy him, and then I can find out for you.
He's taking the role of quarterback for this dying moments and hands the ball off, and another knee's taken, and that could well be the final. And there is the game ball raised, and the Manchester Titans are crowned Division 1 national champions for the 2017 season. Quarterback Sam Bloomfield, 22 of 41, 432 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Game MVP?
462 total yards of offense from Sam Bloomfield, with 2 carries for 30 yards on the ground as well, and 1 score.
Game MVP.
I think you're going to be hard pushed to find anybody who's going to beat that.
He'll be a shoo-in, won't he?
I think he more or less will. The Manchester Titans are 46-23 victors here at the South Leeds Stadium. Once again, we will have a post-game show coming up shortly. We'll be getting interviews with Titans coaches, players, BAFA officials. So do stay with us. Once again, our thanks to DC Double Coverage, Nick Wilson-Towns, and all the staff from DC. Thanks to EP Sports, thanks to Onside Productions, a big thanks to BAFA for providing the officials, and an extra special thanks to Amber for her colour commentary down on the sideline all afternoon.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a lot of fun, and what a great advert this weekend has been for the British game.
Absolutely, it's been fantastic, hasn't it?
It really has. It's been incredible just to also be down there with the players and the coaches and just in the stands with the fans. It just really just resonates through about that passion everyone has for football and just really wanting to share it with the rest of the world.
2 days where, even though we've got this streaming option, the stand has been really well filled on both occasions, both in Worcester yesterday, but equally here as well. Great atmosphere, as you put, Amber.
Yeah, I think it's just, like I said, you know, people who are both either not supporting these two teams but just really want to watch a great game of football, and all those people who are actually watching this around the world, like I said earlier, streaming it around. It's just a great advertisement for British football and just to, you know, showcase the talent we have here, because there is so much and there's so much potential that people can tap into. I know you guys were speaking earlier about the under-19s really being that hub for you know, football, and there being some American scouts, but even here, these guys, some of them have the potential to even go across to Europe and play there too. So it's, you know, really well done to those guys.
Well, like you said about the stream, 10,000 people have currently viewed the Premiership final. I know 5,000, I think, were close to 4,000 or 5,000 for the under-19 championship yesterday. Obviously, that figure...
To say that's really the first under-19 game that's really been streamed,
yeah.
As far as I'm aware, that in this country, at this level, that's an exceptional, you know, number of people watching the junior game.
It is, and I think it's just having that interest in the younger players. I mean, I'm obviously knowing the Titans program, but you've got all those players feeding into the adult team. There's a huge amount of, you know, care and investment put into the younger teams and the younger programs, and it's shown by those figures you just thrown right there.
Absolutely, and over this coming next few days, people who have been here at the game and people who have been away for the bank holiday weekend, we expect those figures to go up and up from the Britball community watching as well.
I've no doubt that as every single player on that pitch is going to be going home, probably watching it with their parents and explaining what's been going on with all these rules.
So for now, as we watch the two teams meet and greet each other across the field, we will leave you with the final score here from Leeds, the Manchester Titans 46 and the London Olympians 23, which sees the Titans crowned Division 1 champions for 2017. We'll be back shortly with our post-game show. So welcome to the post-game show here after the Division 1 final. London Olympians make their way up to collect their runners-up medals.
Yeah, that comeback at the end there was marvellous, wasn't it? You know, I mean, it obviously didn't quite pay off, but to score like they did, obviously that pick six. They never gave up.
As you say, it'll give them heart. It'll give them heart. It'll help them going into the 2018 season that they can put points on the board against an outfit like Manchester. And maybe the Manchester foot came off the gas a little bit with the lead being as big as it was.
Yeah, I think it perhaps did, but you know, Manchester, they needed the win. Well, they didn't need the win. They wanted the win. Of course they did. Both these teams will be playing Prem ball next year in the Premiership. I mean, Manchester are going to have a hell of a task now, newly crowned kings of the country. Tamworth Phoenix in their division, Merseyside Nighthawks, Edinburgh Wolves, East Kilbride Pirates, and obviously the Olympians. I think, I fear for them. I mean, you know, they've got some talented guys out there, but they're going to have to play the Blitz twice, the Warriors twice. They're in a real tough division. It'd be great to see what they can do.
Well, obviously, having come down from the Prem last year and now bounced straight back up into the Prem, they know what it takes. So hopefully this can be the sort of launching pad for them, this appearance this afternoon.
Yeah, we've seen some of the talent they've got on display. Mackenzie, Patterson, obviously the two receivers that ran balls back 70 yards plus. You can see some of the guys walking down now. This gentleman, I think perhaps is 99 that we called earlier, an absolute tank. You know, they've got potential there. Obviously, London's a real big market to try and recruit players. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring to the table next year.
And as people have been talking about all weekend, the battle between North and South in the two senior bowl games, the North are reigning this year.
Yeah, unfortunately for myself, the under-19s couldn't quite match, but we've both had very close games in the under-19s. But Tamworth, I mean, Tamworth is the real story of this weekend. I think, certainly in my mind, I think Titans were always the favourites to win this. But yeah, I mean, Tamworth, the turn of the North in the Premiership. Ooh, they're going to be a team to look out for.
So as the final few Olympians collect their runners-up medals, nice of the Manchester Titans to greet the Olympians, very much how the Lions greeted you guys earlier on, with a very respectful tunnel, a very long tunnel.
It's not something that you really see in this sport. Obviously, you know, I played rugby, and at rugby, this is how you do it every game. I think it's nice to see that mix, and the teams both respecting each other.
And the final Olympian coaches make their way through the Guard of Honour formed by the Titans. Head coach Neil Edwards taking congratulations from Martin Cockrell and Russ Hewitt. And again, you hope that on a British summer you're going to get weather which will allow teams to play football as we know it can be played, and we've had that this weekend.
Yeah, it has. It's been a fantastic weekend of weather. You know, we've not had a drop of rain. It's been hot today. It has been hot today.
Equally, sometimes the wind can affect what teams do in game plans.
The wind, obviously, we're up here. We're on a bit of a hill over Leeds. We certainly got it in the first game. It didn't have a massive factor. I don't think it was going to change the game. But yeah, it was really good weather for football. We've seen some passes from all 8 teams involved. We've seen a lot of running, and we've seen some players really excel. Some players, you know, really come to the forefront of the sport. Thinking about Sam Montgomery yesterday at quarterback. Obviously, Aaron Mahoney-Jones, he was absolutely electric.
Fraser McDonald and Struan Bailey for the Pirates.
Fraser McDonald, yeah. Pat Daly, obviously, and I watched that. I watched that replay of his spin move.
His touchdown run from yesterday.
That touchdown run from yesterday. You
incredible.
Know, he was incredible, and and Tunge from the Blitz, the running back, an absolute monster.
So, as the Titans prepare, they will take a guard of honour on the way up the steps to collect their Division 1 title. I think all we can do really is think about the explosive plays that they showed. There were at least 6 or 7 plays over 50 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got some real athletes. I don't think they'll struggle in the Premiership. I think they'll be evenly matched with some of the teams in the north. They've got some seriously talented guys. Obviously, Bloomfield was playing really, really well today, up until there's 2 interceptions, and I think we were both thinking that he was forcing it down, trying to get that 50 burger. But I think they'll compete. I think they'll compete in the north. Whether they make it to playoffs next year, I don't know. They're a very, very talented outfit at all levels. They've obviously got their youth team, the junior teams, and the women's team. And the seniors obviously showcase piece, doing what they've done today. Like I said, they've got some real tough opponents now with the Phoenix. It's going to be a real good year next year for competitions.
I can see Tamworth going from strength to strength on the back of that win yesterday.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking
absolutely.
to Coach Hilton and Jason Scott there as well, I think it'll really spur them on and give. They talked about the belief that the Titans had. The belief that the Phoenix had going into that game, and now coming away with 2 victories against the London powerhouses, if you like.
I think it's not only a confidence booster to the Phoenix. I think it's a confidence booster to the North and the rest of the league. To have that happen. Obviously, the Warriors weren't the same Warriors that we saw last year, but they did very, very well. And the Blitz, obviously, always a serious competition team. For Tamworth to do what they did, I think it gives confidence to everyone.
So yeah, we're going to try and bring you a number of interviews as we see the Titans continue to make their way up the steps. I've got Nick Wilson-Town, Chief of Double Coverage. Nick, you've obviously been with us all weekend and been able to assist us ably in bringing us the streams. What are your thoughts of the weekend?
Well, first of all, very happy to have worked with you and the rest of Onside Productions this weekend. I think it's been a real privilege to work with you guys. Great level of professionalism for you guys that just keeps upping. Every time we do another production with you guys, the quality and, to be honest, the quantity improves. I really want to thank Steve and his team. We've got Steve here, and I really want to thank you guys for continuing to step it up. I know realistically, you guys are starting from really kind of humble beginnings, but because of a pure love for the game, you're growing and you're making sure that you improve what you do week in, week out, season after season, and that's exactly what American football in this country it needs. It has to happen. We've got to get better as a community, as a sport, at putting ourselves out there. And the only way we're realistically ever going to be able to achieve what we want to achieve with the sport in this country is through people like Steve Matthews, people like yourself and George, stepping up, stepping out there, and really giving back to the game that we all love.
We don't often get a word from our bosses,
well,
Steve
we
or
do,
Tom.
but it's usually in our ear, and it's not usually something we can air.
Never usually broadcastable. But I know we talked about O-linemen and about the engine room, and Steve himself played a bit of O-line. Was it not? D-line? Oh, D-line. Well, it's the same sort of thing, still in the engine room.
Not smart enough to play on the offense.
Not smart enough to play on the offense. But Steve, obviously, we've been doing this as a team now for 2 years, and I think this weekend's been the culmination of a lot of hard work, particularly on you guys in the van. What are your thoughts about the weekend?
I think personally this weekend has been amazing, and to the fact that the team can actually pull together and do something like this, and it's gone. I kept drilling into you guys in the briefings that we had, and it was like on and on. This is the best show we must put on, and I believe that we've all pulled together. A few little sort of road bumps on the way, but I think in all, I'm buzzing from it, and the footage we're getting, the tweets, everything like that off the social media, and the guys like DC and BAFA saying it's just been phenomenal. It's just amazing. It's over. Yeah, you guys have pulled it off. It's not just it's definitely you guys.
As we said already, just as we look for the Titans being crowned the Division 1 champions and they hold the trophy aloft, well deserved up there in the stadium on the on the run up there in the John Charles main stand. Here we go. And so the MVP, I believe, was awarded to begin with, and unless I'm mistaken, I think it was quarterback Sam Bloomfield. I believe it was as well. But yeah, so guys, I say we are like anything. We're like the quarterback, receiver. You know, we're the people who they see. They don't see all the work that you guys put in. So it's not us. It's a team effort to make it all work, because we couldn't do what we do without you, and vice versa. So that's how it is. But just from a football perspective, I know you've been stuck in the van and not maybe watching a lot of it. But what's your impression been of the football this weekend?
I think the football's been awesome. At one point, I was just sat there eating popcorn, feet up, and I went, "Oh, we're supposed to be working right now." I was like, because it was so good. Like yesterday, the atmosphere, they had to open the ticket sales 3 times apparently because of so many people turning up, and to have that many people, over 1,000 people sat in the ground, and the noise was immense. I think one of the key things I remember is the point, sat in the van, obviously we can't see anything, and they kicked off and we just heard this roar, and I was like, is that the crowd? And it was like, and we looked out and it's just amazing. It was just so, and they're keeping it close score as well. Kept it going and going. It was just amazing.
Last couple of questions. Plans for both of you. Plans for DC for 2018?
I wouldn't even know where to begin. I mean, I took on double coverage about almost a year ago now. I took on DC right after Brit Bowl last year. Since then, we've had the opportunity to grow and grow and grow what content we do, grow the different formats that we present that content in. I mean, the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned. How I get there, how we get there as a Brit Ball community, I have no idea, but that's what it's all about. It's about growing the game. Hopefully DC grows with it. It's about events, it's about opportunities. I just want to see it all get bigger.
And how about for Onside, Steve?
Watch this space, I think. Yeah, we know we can do it now. From that day of we sat on the top of a transit van with
Southglade.
Yeah. Oh, those photos still haunt me. So from that day that it's just growing bigger and bigger, and we love the sport and we love doing what we do, and we know we can do it, and we know that there's people out there that want to see it. So yeah, I'm going to go back now in the slight off season that we get to go right. What can I do now to make it even bigger? So yeah, it's going to be good.
And if you think about it, that is literally 2 years ago. That's all it is. The back end of the 2015 season, when we streamed that first game, and we are now having done a really successful Brit Bowl 4-game weekend. So I think for both of you guys, the work you put in for the not just for yourselves, it's not for yourselves, but it's for the Brit Bowl community and the good of the game in this country. I think it's a credit to you, and long may this association between Onside and DC and BAFA continue. Thank you very much for your time today, gentlemen. George and I will continue to have a brief chat.
I think just a quick word on that. Doesn't matter how well this weekend's gone, whatever, it could have been perfect. Steve will pick something out,
of course he will,
and absolutely grill us on it, because he likes, much like a good football coach, he likes it to be perfect.
And look, you've got to strive for perfection in whatever you do, whether it's football, whether it's what Steve's currently running, any element of your life in general. You've got to strive for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can strive for that, then you're always going to be improving and provide a really good product, which is what obviously we're doing at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully we're going to try and bring you some interviews with some players, coaches. I know Martin Cockerell is going to come down and have a word with us about his thoughts for the weekend. Where do you go? Where do the Nottingham Caesars go from here in terms of their
home?
Well, yes, we go home first, although you're the only one left.
I am. No, I think there's Coach Ball knocking around.
Okay.
I think he stayed to watch the game. Where do we go? Obviously, it's difficult with the junior game. These guys obviously know that they don't lose their guys after 3-4 years. They know they don't lose the guys after 3-4 years. Unfortunately, we do. On offense this year, we lose quite a lot. So next year is going to be somewhat of a rebuilding year. Like I've mentioned over the last couple of days, we'd love to set up a youth team. There's interest. We have to look at the costs and things.
Sure.
We need to really crack on and get that sorted if it's going to happen this year. But for us as a club, there's a lot to work out. There is on all levels. I've still got things that I'd like to perfect as a coach. But yeah, onwards and upwards, I hope.
Absolutely, and let's welcome in the championship-winning head coach of the Manchester Titans. Congratulations, Coach.
Cheers.
You mentioned you mentioned before the game your philosophy was score as many points as possible, and in that first period and first half, you definitely did that.
Yeah, we were brilliant, and as soon as it started off, we were straight out the blocks, and it comes through just all our preparation, making sure that we're not fazed by anything as soon as we start. We're ready to go as soon as it happens, and we're not alarmed by anything that we see. We're prepared and we're ready to play.
Obviously, big plays were, I think, really evident, and it wasn't sort of there were sustained drives, which is really pleasing. But the amount of explosive big plays that the offense particularly put up must be really pleasing moving forward into the Prem.
Very much so, very much so. It's just something we always play, no matter what, and just keep playing until somebody says that we've got to stop. We're going to keep playing.
So, how long do you get off now before you start planning for 2018?
We'll probably give ourselves a week and we'll probably get going quite quickly.
Okay.
We've got a few more coaching appointments that we've got to appoint before the new season, and then we'll get going again. We'll start planning and we'll get ready and start playing again soon.
Well, thank you. I don't want to keep you too long for your team, but thank you ever so much for your commitment to the game and to us, and enjoy the celebrations and enjoy watching the game back when you get home over the next couple of days.
Yeah, you guys have been brilliant all weekend. It's been absolutely amazing to watch online and everything, so I know the guys have said, so it's brilliant.
Well, thank you ever so much.
Cheers.
All right, take care. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
And I can see over your shoulder, Coach, I can see the game MVP, Bloomers. Bloomers is coming over here first. And sorry, I ripped you away.
Teammates are out the window.
Congratulations.
If you take that, I'll take that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right to call you Bloomers?
Absolutely.
Amber has been saying it's got to be nicknames. So talk us through that game then, particularly the first quarter.
So first off, Luke Carlton, our offensive coordinator, is an absolute genius. And he put together a really good game plan. We always say if you give Luke 2 weeks, he's going to destroy a team. So in the first quarter, we basically recognised that they were running man coverage, often with no high. And we basically figured that if they want to put their athletes on our athletes, we have faith in our athletes that our athletes are going to beat theirs. Okay. We did that. We take the short stuff. Our philosophy is 4 yards of play. And we took our shots. Our guys beat their guys, as we predicted they would. And we were able to just consistently drive the ball down and score.
So your stat line, you've thrown for over 400 yards, thrown for 4 TDs. Five TDs, sorry.
Five, one rushing TD,
absolutely.
4 passing TD.
So you've thrown for 4 TDs,
yes,
and you've run another one, there
absolutely,
you go. And I mean, I'm not being critical at all, but there might be viewers out there, when you've gone up so early, was there a sort of a sort of moment in the Titans mindset where we'll take a foot off the gas, or was it literally let's keep going for as many points as possible, even though we're sort of 35 points ahead?
There was no plan to do that. I think you can clearly see that it happened a little bit. We had a couple of conversations and in our huddles, and basically said that we need to put the foot back on the gas, because we were slow, we were lethargic. The weather didn't help at all. No. And towards the end of the game, we were trying to take shots. We were trying to be a bit cheeky. You got the 2 interceptions in the end there, which fortunately my offensive coordinator takes responsibility for, so that's okay. Doesn't show up on his stat line though.
No, exactly.
We were being a bit cheeky, and we paid for it.
We'll get out of the way of that. We'll get out of the way of that very quickly. Hey, I tell you what, did you see my footwork then? You might have to use my microphone for a minute. I was quite impressed with my footwork then, to avoid that. That is well deserved.
Okay, is it working?
Yeah, it's all good. That's fine. It's working.
That's the second time this year. Thanks, chaps. Make sure Corey doesn't have any. He's banned from Greg's.
So, preparation for the Prem next year then. Are you guys ready for that?
Well, at the minute we would like a rest, but we're looking at off-season programs, and quite a few of the guys on the team actually have Prem experience. Yeah. So we're looking at taking on those teams and how best our system will work against those teams, and I'm sure we'll make some adjustments based on how the Prem defenses and offenses actually work.
Sure.
What do you say about Tamworth?
Well, absolutely. I mean,
hell of a job, fellas.
Craig,
North.
George and I mentioned, obviously, with the 2 senior bowl games this weekend, the North are now the Kings.
And EKP was
very close.
Unlucky Spoony. Really good job, man.
Indeed. And the Caesars were quite close as well today.
I wasn't here for that game, so I didn't actually know. No, you're Midlands.
Two Midlands teams.
Anything
anyway,
north of London.
I will let you get back to your teammates.
Thank you.
Huge congratulations, not only on the team performance, but on your individual effort today. And
it's not going to get you any money, so.
You're just trying to add to your plate collection, Coach.
Yeah.
But enjoy the rest of your evening. All right, take care. So, yes, Bloomers there.
Ice everywhere.
Ice is there. It's going to turn into the Arctic up in Leeds. Bloomers, and again, it's He's standing next to us there, and you're thinking, that's a big quarterback. Yeah, that's the first thing you've caught in like 7 years.
It's true.
Big quarterback.
Yeah,
and,
he
and
is, yeah.
It was evident on his rushing touchdown where he had Olympians defenders falling off him.
He played like a big quarterback. Pat Daly, obviously, a bit of one of them. Did you like that move?
I did.
And obviously, you know, Sam runs so much harder, and you saw it a couple of times actually on quarterback runs. He did really, really well.
So hopefully we're going to get some members of BAFA to come and speak to us. Particularly, it'd be nice if we could get Martin on his thoughts for the weekend,
Yeah,
and maybe
absolutely.
even Verity, who's obviously BAFA, but also a very strong Manchester Titan.
Yeah. I think so.
But yeah, so it's been an incredible weekend. I am thoroughly exhausted, but at the same time, I don't know that we could have asked for any more, as Steve said, from not only the games, but also the crew and the camera guys and the officials and the chain crew and everybody involved. I can just see Martin coming over now. Mr. Cockrell. How are you doing, sir? I'm very well. How are you? Congratulations.
Fantastic.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Right, I know we spoke to you yesterday after the game.
We did, yeah.
Okay, so a day later, 2 days down, Brit Bowl 31. We spoke to Russ at half-time, who was obviously very pleased with how things have gone. As the man in charge and the face of scapegoating when it needs to be done, how's it gone?
I don't know about anybody else, but I thought that was a fantastic weekend of football. We saw highs, lows. We thought Olympians done, dusted, and then they come fighting back, heart still in them, not giving up. And it's the first time we've ever had a running clock in a national final. And then they said, no, sod that, we're not having that.
Yeah,
we're going to keep being in this game. And they killed off the running clock.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Any particular, do you have to pick sort of one or two memories from the weekend?
My favourite play of the day, Nottingham Caesars, number 15,
Alex
catch,
Stocks.
fingertip catch, full stretch, on the run, fantastic. What a star that kid's going to be in the future.
Absolutely.
I mean, that for me, that was the play of the weekend. That was superb.
And a turning point in terms of the North?
Yeah,
overall?
it's good, isn't it? Yeah. 2 finals, adult level, Northern champions in both finals. It just goes to show that the talent's out there, the skills out there, the coaching's out there. You put all that together and you get the product on the field that wins your games and championships.
George mentioned to Russ at half-time about the contribution he's made to the junior game and the under-19 game. From your point of view, in terms of BAFA overall, what's next? What's 2018 bringing?
As Russ was saying, we need to consolidate and grow and build, make sure the under-19 game gets better, that we get more kids playing at that level. We support it as we've been doing, and we try and keep growing that without damaging the under-17, because that's been superb. I mean, the under-17 championships, there's fantastic days football there, but it's an area we're really concerned about, and it's kid gloves, making sure that that grows and gets better and stronger. And that's what we've got to work on. That's our key concern next year, alongside recruitment of officials, because we need those officials out there. We need guys in stripes. Put your name forward. We need those people out there. And working with volunteers, getting the clubs better at running themselves, managing themselves, and getting more people involved in running the sport. It can't be a small group of 5, 6 people. It's got to be more people involved, and that's what we're looking for.
It was nice yesterday at Worcester to hear Rose, who was our sideline commentator, talking to one of the BAFA officials and hearing a 19-year-old just qualified as an official. So there's more than one way to get involved with this game if you're a youngster, whether it's playing, officiating, even coaching. George is only 23 and he's a head coach of a successful junior program. So like you say, it's got Just a reminder, the East Kilbride Pirates fell narrowly to the London Blitz in the Under-19 Championship yesterday, followed by that immense Premiership final where the Tamworth Phoenix upended the London Blitz, again by a very close one-score margin.
Yep.
We then had Georgia's Nottingham Caesars falling 4 points short this morning in the Under-19 plate competition to the worthy winners, the Birmingham Lions. And this afternoon we've seen the Manchester Titans crowned Division 1 champions with a 46-23 decision over the London Olympians. We've had a blast. Thank you to all involved. There are so many people to name. I think we've named them during the weekend. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your support. Re-watch the stream. Support DC, Onside Productions, Caesars TV, BAFA, all the agencies, wherever you can. And we will see you very soon for Onside's next production of British American football. Good night from George.
Good night.
And good night from myself, Matt Walker. Good night.